Yeah, and it's a Thunder offense that ranks #1 in the conference in scoring. They're averaging almost 40 points a game, and it's balanced, Tim. 233 in the air, 210 on the ground, so they can beat you a lot of different ways. They're averaging almost 450 yards a game thus far this season.
We'll talk about what homecoming means to Elmhurst in a little bit. We'll also make sure to spend some time talking about some of the keys for the ball game. But it is Jordan Roberts under center in Wheaton with a flea flicker on the first pass of the game. Roberts is leveled as his pass falls incomplete. Randy Wright, among others, for Elmhurst defensively. Also in Chris Wild. A little trickery to begin the ball game.
Sure. And Randy White's very familiar with the folks in the Wheaton backfield. 2 years ago, he was part of that sack parade on Wheaton quarterbacks. He had 2 of them. This year, he's tied for first in the league with 3 sacks. He's also in the top 5 in tackles. Definitely a difference maker on the defensive side.
2nd and 10. Handoff to Jarrett, the Wheaton running back. Peter Jarrett, a Wheaton native, gains about 3 out to the 35-yard line. It'll set up 3rd and 7. Just a beautiful day today. 81 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. The wind right now is calm. It has been out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour throughout the course of the game. So a big 3rd down here early in the ball game for the Wheaton College Thunder, who enter the matchup with a 4-0 record. Likewise for the Blue Jays. Both teams are 1-0 in the CCIW. Roberts is out of the shotgun. He'll keep. Straight ahead with a hold. Diving for the first down marker. He'll have it out to the 44-yard line. Randy Wright on the stop. Gain of 8 on the play and a first down.
Not an uncommon scene for the Wheaton Thunder offense. They are first in the conference in converting 3rd downs, almost 50%, Tim, in their 65 attempts so far this season.
Jordan Roberts is the quarterback for Wheaton. He will split time with Garrett Metter. Roberts with 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season, 466 yards passing. He's again out of the shotgun on 1st and 10, and he'll swing to the left side. Pass is caught by Teddy Watkins, junior out of Washington, Missouri. Very little gain as he is dropped right away.
1-yard gain on the play.
It's a Wheaton team last year that gave this defense fits on 3rd down, 8 of 15, while Elmhurst was just 1 of 13, and that was the big difference in Wheaton's ability to hold on to the football and march down the field. Last year, they ran almost 75 plays of offense against this Elmhurst defense. It can't happen here. The blue shirts have got to get off the field.
One of the keys for Wheaton this season has been their 3rd down efficiency. They converted moments ago on 3rd and 7. They've converted on 50% of their 3rd down tries this year. A pitch to the left side for Jarrett. They'll pick up 8 yards, and it'll be 3rd and short for the Thunder. Let's meet the Wheaton offensive line. Tommy Burgraff is at left tackle. The left guard is Sean Ramsey. The center is Nick Biggie. The right guard for Wheaton is Hank Brands, and the right tackle is Luke Griffith. We'll get to the specialists in a moment. It is 3rd and 2 on the Elmhurst side of the 50. Good opportunity perhaps for a straight-ahead run with Roberts again, which was successful on the first 3rd down on this drive. The Blue Jays show blitz up the middle. It is a draw. And it is going to be just short as Joey Scogan, the sophomore out of North Carolina, is met right at the first down markers, and I believe he will be short. Decision time for Wheaton. Tony, it's 4th and 1. What do you think?
I think you put the pressure on Elmhurst here. You had mentioned the offensive line, Tim, as you're going through it. One of the first things that jumps out at you, this is not as big as an offensive line as Wheaton has traditionally had. They've been able to mash Elmhurst in the past and be powerful up front. We'll see if they can do it here.
They'll line up in the eye. Davis Skinner is the fullback in front of Jarrett, who receives the call and reaches the first down marker, falling forward for a gain of 2. A first down for the Thunder, their 2nd first down of the drive, and they set up 1st and 10. Here are the receivers for the Thunder, Charlie Antel and also Justin Zeller. The fullback for Wheaton is J.J. Clark, and the running back, whose name you've heard a couple of times already, is Peter Jarrett. They fake the handoff to Jarrett, and plenty of time to throw for Roberts. His pass is complete to the aforementioned Justin Zeller, junior out of Indianapolis, with a first down for Wheaton inside the 30.
One of the issues that Wheaton causes you on offense is they run a lot of personnel packages. You're going to get a lot of different formations coming at you. You've seen a little 2-back shotgun. You've seen some 1-back. You're going to see a lot of white jerseys alternating in and out of this lineup.
3 minutes into the first quarter, Wheaton on the move. Roberts directing his fullback. And it is a play-action pass resulting in an end around for Antel. Plenty of room, and he's tripped up. A nice open field tackle by Dane Paul, who last week returned a fumble 99 yards for an Elmhurst single-game record.
3-yard gain on the play.
Pickup of 3. It is 2nd and 7. Let's meet the Elmhurst defense on the line. It is Matt Street at defensive end, along with Pete Alfano in the middle, joined by Chris Wild. And on the right side of the defensive line, it is Jerry Beach. Get to the linebackers in the secondary in a moment. In motion is Watkins. Roberts rolls right. Steps up, throws for Watkins. He makes the catch and steps out of bounds at the first down marker inside the 20. Wheaton is in the red zone. And the Thunder have scored on 83% of their red zone opportunities this year, 20 of 24, including 13 touchdowns. So they look to get started here early offensively, and Tony, it's been a good mix of the run and pass.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And they keep you on your toes. Not only are they very efficient in the red zone and on third down, how about second in the league in sacks allowed? Only 6 thus far this season, so they're very good with the football. Very
little pressure from Elmhurst on Roberts so far. 4 wide, and as soon as I say that, racing in is John Janis to get to the quarterback. The pass falls incomplete.
Little screen pass there. I'm not sure the running back ever got out near the ball there. No flag from the referee, but great pressure from Janis. And that's a great way to sort of offset this Elmhurst pressure that gave him problems 2 years ago here at Langhorse, is run some screen game and slow down that pass rush.
Brandon Jones, Wayne Tuckson, and Randy Wright are the linebackers for the Blue Jays. Jamal Lane and Dane Paul, the corners. John Janis and Kyle Demas, the safeties. Straight ahead runs Jarrett. He's upended shy of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Wheaton.
Another 3rd down. Again, going to last year. I know it's a new year, but how about 5 of 6 last year in red zone efficiency for the Thunder, and 8 of 15 I had mentioned earlier on 3rd down. The Blue Jays have to get off the field in these situations.
Glad you're with us on Blue Jay TV. Opening drive of the game on homecoming. 10.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Keeping it himself is Roberts. Angling right, sidesteps the tackler, has the first down.
Brought down far side of the field by Randy Wright.
Randy Wright with the stop for Elmhurst. As the ball is spotted at the 7-yard line, it is 1st and goal for the Thunder on this their opening possession of the day.
And Randy's really growing into his new position here on the weak side. He's been a middle linebacker for his first 2 years here, a preseason All-American coming into this season, but he's sort of had to grow into the position a little bit.
Wheaton, led by head coach Mike Swider, took over for the Thunder in 1996, 10th among active Division III head coaches, with a 77 winning percentage. Roberts opts to keep it himself and steps out of bounds at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, so far so good in the secondary for the Jays. They've been good this season. Paul and Lane are pretty good at the corner, and Janis and Demas are solid back at safety. Wheaton's got a pretty good secondary of their own, so we'll see if Wheaton stays on the ground here and tries to mash at the Jays a little bit.
Wheaton's done a very good job of spreading out the Blue Jays here early on. Shotgun 4 wide. They've also gone tight. Under center, it's Roberts presently with 1 back behind him, Jarrett. And he will audible at the line of scrimmage with the play clock down to 8 seconds. 9:25 to go first quarter. Opening drive for Wheaton. They're knocking on the door. It's a pass to the back of the end zone. Intercepted! Jamal Lane.
Right on cue.
He read it perfectly in the end zone. Great inside position on Austin Zerhoff, the Wheaton tight end. And Roberts never took his eyes off of the intended target as he is picked off for the 4th time this year.
Great position by Jamal. Jamal's a young man from Miami, Florida.
I think he's a little fired up.
How about this? Well, you got a homecoming game. You got a full boat here. Both crowds are fired up. You got a nationally ranked team here, and this Blue Jay crowd here is excited now. Jamal, great position there, inside and on top of the receiver. Reacted really well to the football.
Joe Furco is the quarterback, sophomore out of Wheaton. Under center for the Blue Jays, who take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Handoff to the right edge. On first down, Scotty Williams picks up a couple out to the 22-yard line. Scotty Williams is a name you'll hear plenty of today.
How's 563 yards sound for Scotty Williams? So far this year, 88, 192, 173, and 186 for the sophomore from Downers.
In 4 games.
Yep.
Williams ranks 4th in the nation in rushing, 159 yards per game. He has scored at least 2 touchdowns in all of the 4 contests for the Blue Jays in this matchup of 4-0 teams. A pump fake for Furco. He rolls left and his pass is caught. Complete to Nick Eklund. Across the 30 out to the 38-yard line and a first down.
And to continue with Williams, Tim, I got to tell you, the thing about him is that not only will he do really well between the tackles and he'll give you some ground gainage, but he's great in the screen game. He'll also pick up a blitzer on the pass protection. So Scotty, and he plays 95% of the offensive plays, so he's a workhorse for the Jays, and Tim Lester loves having him back there.
Elmhurst trying to take advantage of a turnover. Jamal Lane with an interception in the end zone on the Wheaton first possession. Here is Scotty Williams. Huge hole up the middle, crossing midfield, dragged down at the 43-yard line, and a Blue Jay first down. Brian McMullen on the stop for Wheaton, the first down for the Blue Jays. That's a huge burst.
Huge difference from last year's team, Tim. They're averaging 215 yards per game on the ground is Elmhurst. 860 total yards amassed this season. And it's a different look from the Jays than we've seen in the last couple of Tim Lester seasons.
Coming up on 8 minutes in the first quarter, scoreless between Elmhurst and Wheaton on homecoming. Bach is in motion. He will get the carry. Straight ahead, a huge burst. Still on his feet inside the 20. A gain of 27 yards for Ryan Bach on the carry up the middle.
How about this kid, Ryan Bach, at tight end? Now, in high school, he was a tailback, so he's used to carrying the football. They use him here in a little option look. The young man's got some carries, but he also has 13 catches for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's versatile now.
Just his 3rd carry of the year, and the gain of 27 is more than the 16 yards he had gained on his first 2 carries of 2010. It's an empty backfield. Williams will drop back in motion, and he will receive the handoff. Stutter steps left, met after a gain of a yard. Let's meet the Elmhurst offense. Charlie Hamaki at left tackle, Brett Virgil the left guard, Chris Kirkpatrick is the center. Peter Stabos at right guard, and Eric Personius rounds out the line at right tackle. We told you about Joe Furco, the quarterback. Ryan Bach is the tight end. Rodney Payton, Corey Tunn, and Bobby Vavlis, the wide receivers, with Scotty Williams as the running back for the Blue Jays, who set up 2nd and 9 inside the red zone. Elmhurst looking to take advantage of the Wheaton turnover. The Thunder came into the ball game +8 in turnover margin. Fade for the corner, broken up. Targeted for Rodney Payton,
who's quickly becoming Joe Furco's favorite target over the last few games. We've seen him make some big plays here at home. He's been a little bit inconsistent. Coach has been working with him. He's running better patterns. The one thing that they continue to say is that he's just so explosive. They got to find ways to get him the football, and that time Furco just letting him go after it. I don't mind that, Tim.
Blue Jays are 15 of 19 in the red zone, 79%. 13 times they have found the end zone. It is a 3rd and 9. Bach is in motion to the near side. Furco with a draw for Williams. Open to the right side, still on his feet inside the 10. Angling towards the right corner and into the end zone for a Blue Jay touchdown.
Great call, Tim. What a great call by Tim Lester, the offensive coordinator. Scotty Williams. And how about this offensive line, able to move Wheaton off the football? It's an offensive line that gave up 4 sacks to Wheaton last year. They've given up 6 this entire season. And they're undersized, but they're athletic, and they're moving people out of the way.
How about the 10th touchdown of the season for Scotty Williams with 6:43 in the first quarter? Elmhurst on the board first. They lead 6-0 pending the extra point. A huge drive, 7 plays covering 80 yards in just 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Out of the hold of Zach Chaffee, the extra point from D'Alessandro is straight through, and it's a 7-0 Elmhurst lead. Blue Jays with 65 yards rushing and 15 yards passing on their opening possession of the ball game. Turning 4 first downs to take advantage of the Wheaton miscue after the Thunder had driven 58 yards and put up 5 first downs on their first drive of the ball game. And the fight song plays here at Langhorst Field in front of a full house. Tony, you were here early today. I got here a little earlier myself, walking around. The parking lot is full. Plenty of tailgating going on. The grills, you can see the smoke rising. The smell is fantastic. I love homecoming.
What a great atmosphere. You know, you can't help but sort of get fired up when you're walking into campus here and you're taking in the sights and smells. And I'll tell you, that parking lot now was full. The west end of the parking lot was full at 8:30 when I pulled in. So it's quite an atmosphere here today on homecoming day.
Elmhurst honoring their Hall of Fame class before the ball game. We will tell you about them in a little bit. 4 new members to the Blue Jay Backer Hall of Fame.
Pretty good former Blue Jay football player in that mix.
Yes, indeed. Delacondro with a kickoff for the Blue Jays. Backing up into the end zone to handle it is Antel. Straight ahead, he moves right across the 20 in opening. Met at the 28-yard line and stopped there as the tackle is recorded by John Bruchot. And Wheaton will set up their second possession of the ball game, trailing 7-0 with 6:35 left in this opening quarter.
And right away, Wheaton's quick to the line of scrimmage. This is a little bit different for this Wheaton ball club. A quicker tempo, quicker pace. They're in and out of the huddle very, very quickly, if they huddle at all. So as a defense, you have to be prepared and get the call.
Wheaton ranked 18th in the latest D3Football.com Top 25 poll, one of 3 unbeaten teams in the CCIW, Elmhurst and North Central. The others, delay, and not a whole lot there for Jarrett, who is dropped right away. Give him a gain of about a yard on the play, 2nd and 9. Roberts remains at quarterback for the Thunder. He will split time along with Garrett Metter. In motion comes Clark to the far side. It is a pass for Roberts, who's flushed from the pocket by Matt Street. He attempted to stiff arm the Blue Jay linebacker and will pick up about a yard on the keeper.
The key is this defensive line, Tim. If they can get pressure with their front 4, it's going to make things a lot easier for the secondary that we talked about in the previous drive. Now, it's a new look for them. They've shifted things around. Jerry Beach has come back out to his natural position at defensive end. They're using a rotation at tackle. But you're going to see a lot of different pressure packages from the Jays.
3rd and 8. Shotgun formation for Roberts. Fakes the handoff. Looks left. Flushed from the pocket. He'll roll towards the near side. Shovels it. And incomplete. Dane Paul topped Justin Zeller. And Zeller is down.
That's Jamal Lane again, making his presence felt. Young fella laid a shoulder, a clean hit.
And the Thunder will be forced to punt. Let's talk about what you've seen from Elmhurst so far. This is one fired-up team.
Sure, absolutely. You know, it's a different culture, too. Coach Lester, 3 years ago now, made it a point that he wanted to rebuild the culture here at Elmhurst College, and it takes some time bringing in the proper recruiting classes. But from what we saw in the pregame, and it wasn't necessarily on our webcast, but they got a new thing with the entry where they're coming out with a flag, and there's some energy on the sidelines, and guys like Jamal Lane are enforcers now. So it's a different culture here at Elmhurst. It's fun to watch, to be honest with you, Tim.
Justin Zeller is down at the 40-yard line after the lick from Jamal Lane. Elmhurst with a 7-0 lead with 5:20 to play here in this first quarter. We told you that North Central, Wheaton, and Elmhurst are all 4-0 in the CC, or overall, and 1-0 in the CCIW. Augustana was victorious last week as well. The Vikings are 3-1. Carthage 3-1, Illinois Wesleyan 3-1, Milliken 3-1, but they lost their conference openers last week. North Park is 2-2. They are also 0-1 in the conference after being blanked last week by the Blue Jays 45-0. The scores from last week: Augustana edging Milliken 28-24. Wheaton at home opening conference play with a big victory over nationally ranked and defending conference champion Illinois Wesleyan. It was North Central 43-8 at home over Carthage, and the Blue Jays shutting out North Park 45-0 as they continue to work on Zeller. Today, North Central is at Augustana. Milliken is at Carthage. Those games are underway. Meanwhile, North Park at Illinois Wesleyan, they will start in about a half an hour or so down in Bloomington. So those are the standings entering CCIW play today. Zeller helped to his position, a seated position on the 40-yard line by the Wheaton training staff. and he will be escorted off the field following the huge hit to a standing ovation here.
Well, the Wheaton Thunder have had a strong tradition of really good receivers, and they just seem to churn them out year after year. Made a joke before the game that, you know, the numbers stay the same, but the guys change a little bit. Those receivers are always causing a problem for us traditionally, and losing Zeller's one chink in the armor for the Thunder, but I'm sure they'll churn out another receiver right after that.
Tony Vargas is the punter for Wheaton. Corey Tunn is back deep to receive. Vargas averaging 29 yards per kick. He has split time with Brian McMullen this year. 8 punts for an average of 29 yards, including 1 inside the 20. Facing a 4th and 8. Wheaton ready to kick it away with 5:20 to go in the opening 15.
And Tunn's shown some ability here. See if he can cut one loose.
Tunn is waving for the fair catch as he backs up inside the 30 and dropped it. It is gobbled up by the Thunder. Brian McBroom, the special teams play, recovers at the 28-yard line, and it is a first down for the Thunder as they look to take advantage of the first Elmhurst miscue of the day.
Boy, just as we speak praise on Corey Tunn, he short arms it there a little bit. 3 turnovers last year versus 0 to Wheaton was another big key in the 38-7 loss last year. You got to hunker down here as a defense and turn away the Thunder. You can't allow this turnover to turn into points.
Elmhurst converted on a Wheaton turnover for their first touchdown. The Blue Jays with a 7-0 lead. And now the Thunder will look to take advantage with Clark in motion. Payton with the call, straight ahead to the 25-yard line. Jarrett, I should say.
Jarrett was the ball carrier.
Wheaton's without Rocky Ging today, who has been one of their top rushers throughout the course of the season, but it's really been take your pick with running backs. They've had the opportunity to get several players involved. Ging is the leading rusher at 347 yards and 5 touchdowns, and he's a longtime member of this Wheaton program. He's out with a leg injury today. Joey Scogan, Peter Jarrett, and Jordan Roberts, the quarterback, have all seen significant time. Here's Jarrett again. 2nd and 4 towards the first down marker, tripped up by Demas on the play.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, those stable of running backs, they're all very similar in build and size and running style. They're not going to beat you to the edge, but they're pretty physical. You can tell here that Jarrett's a big fella, and Ging brings a lot of power as well for anyone that's seen him carry the football in the past. So
6'2", 212 for Jarrett. Roberts keeps himself, falling straight ahead to the first down marker at the 20, and the Thunder will be in the red zone for the second time today. 4:05 to play first quarter. It is a first down for the Thunder. It trails 7-0 on the board.
It's a Thunder team that's +8 so far in the turnover differential, which is a huge number at this point in the season, 4 games in. Elmhurst just a +1.
And a flag is thrown. Movement on the left side of the Wheaton line.
Flag on the play.
This is Blue Jay TV coverage of Elmhurst College football. Homecoming today. A false start for the Thunder. We'll back them up to the 25-yard line. Yesterday we had men's soccer action on Blue Jay TV. Upcoming this Tuesday, we'll have some volleyball for you. All kinds of Elmhurst College athletic events available live to you through BlueJayTV.com. And of course, you'll have archived opportunities as well. 1st and 15, an inside give to Jarrett. He will pick up 2, and it's 2nd and 13.
Well, I've been really impressed early on with the combination that the Jays are using a defensive tackle here. They can sort of moved around a little bit here, but Alfano, Vincent, Wild, and Cullen are doing a great job holding up on what is traditionally the strength of this Wheaton ball club, their offensive line.
Winding down in the first quarter. 3:15 to play. Elmhurst with a 7-0 lead over the 18th ranked Thunder. Play action pass. Roberts with time. Angles right. He will keep. Picks up the penalty yardage, and he gains about 2 more on top of it as it is 3rd and 8 upcoming.
I got to tell you, Tim, the corners are doing a great job so far. Dane Paul and Jamal Lane, of course, we've mentioned a few times. They've got these receivers blanketed in the back end, and it's not giving Roberts any time to find him here, so he's had to scramble.
Jordan Roberts last week 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the win over Illinois Wesleyan. 12 of 19, and another flag flies in.
Too many on the field, I believe.
Wheaton is going the wrong way. An illegal substitution.
Illegal substitution penalty.
Well, you're getting to that point now, Tim, where you're sort of on that edge of field goal range. Wheaton's kicker is 8 for 12. Scott Roche.
His longest attempt this year has been 40 yards. So he does have a leg. He's actually attempted a field goal over 50 yards, a 50-yarder against Olivet. He's got the leg, but I think Wheaton wants the 6. 2:34 in the quarter. It is 3rd and 14.
You got to think pressure's coming here for the Jays.
Watkins in motion. 4 wide. A pump fake. Floating duck into the back of the end zone. Reeled in for the touchdown. The catch is made by Charlie Antell, the senior out of Vancouver, Washington. Reels in the reception for the Thunder. And Wheaton has an opportunity to tie the ball game pending the extra point for Antell, his first touchdown of the season.
Antell with the touchdown reception for Wheaton.
He's been a favorite target here early in the first quarter for Roberts. So Elmhurst converts on a Wheaton turnover. And now it is the Thunder making good on an Elmhurst turnover. Scott Roach, the junior out of Colorado, for the extra point. Kick is up and good. We are tied at 7 with 2:19 to play in the first quarter. The drive for the Thunder, spanning 30 yards on 6 plays, covering 2 minutes and 52 seconds.
Well, 3rd down, they dialed up pressure just like we thought they would. They brought right off the edge, brought 6. That time you got one-on-one coverage, and Jamal Lane bit inside on him. Slant and go.
On the visitor's side at the far east end of the field.
78th meeting between Elmhurst and Wheaton. Wheaton leading the all-time series 51-20 and 6 ties. The teams have split the last 2. Wheaton handling a very young Elmhurst team last season, 38-7, but as we've talked about, the last time they played here in Elmhurst, it was the Blue Jays with a 37-23 victory over the Thunder, who were nationally ranked at the time. They are nationally ranked again today, no surprise.
And Tim, how about the old ball coach over there in the old blue and orange, Mike Swider? How about 10th all-time amongst active coaches in winning percentage? He's 118 and 35 for 77%.
I would take that as my winning percentage.
Pretty good hombre over there.
Roche with the kickoff. Payton will handle it at the 5. Follows his wedge to the right side, crossing the 20, pushed out around the 30-yard line. Garrett Cook, the sophomore from Warrenville, with the stop for the Thunder, and Elmhurst takes over in a tie game late in the first quarter, 2:12 to play. As Elmhurst and Wheaton are tied up at 7, each team taking advantage of a miscue from the other.
Well, the offensive line able to control the pace of that first drive for the Jays. We'll see if they come out here and get after it again on the ground.
We met the Elmhurst offense during their first possession of the ball game. We'll get to the Wheaton defense in a moment as Ryan Bach is in motion. Crowd comes to life. Furco, home run ball for Payton, overshot, incomplete in coverage. Tyler Langs with him step for step. Tyler, the brother of Jordan Langs, the CCIW Defensive Player of the Week, who recorded a pair of interceptions last week. Here is the Wheaton defense. J.D. East at defensive end. In the middle, it is Charlie Mitchell and Robert Ramsey at end as well, as the Thunder with a 3-4 look. Richard Jacobson, Mike Dozeman, Jordan Chapman, and Corey Hart, the linebackers. The corners, Tim Shaw and Tyler Langs. And the safeties, Brian McMullen and Jordan Langs. 2nd and 10 for the Blue Jays. 2:06 to play in a 7-7 game. Flag flies. I don't think Ryan Bach was set as he came back in motion. Scotty Williams with the carry to pick up 2. Stopped by Tyler Langs, but I don't know if it'll count. It is an offside against Wheaton.
Hey, Tim, you mentioned Jordan Langs and Brian McMullen. I'll tell you what, taking a look at these guys in pregame, these guys are put together now. 5'11", 208, 6'3", 211. They bring the storm for this Thunder now. Rodney Payton and Vavlis, you better believe they know where those two are at all times. These are some good-looking safeties.
5-yard mark off to the 34, 2nd and 5. Clock running with under 2 minutes in the first quarter of a 7-7 game here on homecoming. Bach motions to the far side. Furco checks off with the line of scrimmage and he'll ask for a timeout. Play clock was down to 3 with 1:39 in the first quarter. It's the first time out of the half for Elmhurst in a 7-7 affair.
And how about the respect the Wheaton Thunder have for Scotty Williams? That time, the free safety only about 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. 8 men in the box. Corners pressed up, trying to take away what has been the best weapon thus far for the Jays this season.
Get a look at the Blue Jays, led by head coach Tim Lester. He's been very successful in his attempts to reestablish this Elmhurst program. Let's take a look at the officiating crew today as well. We've seen them very busy early on. Referee is Jim Wojciewicz. Umpire is Pat Schneider. The linesman is Joel Moritz. The line judge, Bill Guile. Back judge, Lance Tyson. The field judge, Terry Young. And the side judge, John Bork. Tim Lesser in his 3rd season with Elmhurst, Tony, 15-9 in his 24 games. Been very good in the non-conference portion of the season, and this Elmhurst team has been able to score some solid victories under him in conference play as well. They are looking to take a huge step forward this season, more specifically today against this Wheaton squad that they beat in Lester's first year. 2nd and 5 after the timeout. Handoff to Williams. He reverses to his left and will gain about 2 yards on the play to set up 3rd and 2 at the 48.
Well, Tim Lester, you mentioned, who had, in his first crack at this gig, took down the Thunder 2 seasons ago. Very familiar with the CCIW, also an offensive coordinator for 2 years. Back in the early 2000s when Elmhurst had their breakout year, went 6-4. That was a year where they broke all kinds of offensive records. Then, of course, with North Central in recent years, and now at the helm at Elmhurst. So, Tim, very familiar with this Wheaton program.
Elmhurst, 43% on 3rd down, 19 of 44. Play action pass. Furco dumps off for Bach, and he's dropped at the line of scrimmage. Wheaton read it the entire way, in perfect position to deny the dump off. Jordan Langs with the tackle, the CCIW Defensive Player of the Week, comes up on 3rd down.
That's part of the tandem. You got to be aware where those two cats are at all times, number 11 and number 18.
No gain on the play.
Down to 35 seconds in the first quarter in a 7-7 game. Elmhurst will kick it away with Brian LeSueur handling the punting duties. 16 punts this year, an average of 34.6 yards, and this is a good one. Backing up Langs, who is 6th in the nation in punt return yardage, and a block in the back will spring him for about 15 yards to the 39, but it won't count, as a penalty will back up the Thunder here late in the first quarter.
Yeah, definitely a good call there.
Groshot with the stop for the Blue Jays on special teams.
You know, it's a coverage unit is pretty good so far this year. They're only averaging about 12 yards allowed per punt return.
The Thunder will start from their 13 with 7.5 seconds left.
You got to feel good about things if you're in blue right now. You got Wheaton pinned down here. You've done some nice things defensively. Like to get a little bit more consistent pressure.
And here is Garrett Metter, the new quarterback for Wheaton. His first series. Hands it off straight ahead for a gain of about 2 on the play. And the first quarter will come to a close after the gain from Joey Scogan. We will switch sides. 15 minutes in the books, tied at 7. Well, earlier we mentioned that today the Blue Jay backers inducted 4 members into the Hall of Fame. Let's tell you about them here at the first quarter break. Dom Dema, 2-sport standout from Elmhurst, who graduated in 2005, excelling in both football and baseball for the Blue Jays. As a Two-time all-conference choice at quarterback, set single-game records for passing yardage, touchdown passes, and completions. In addition to single-season records for total offense, completion percentage, touchdown passes, passing yardage. He is the all-time career leader in completions, completion percentage, yardage, and touchdowns for Elmhurst. Very solid football player, but not to be overlooked, he was a two-time all-conference choice in baseball, manning third base, finishing ranked 7th in career hits, 2nd in RBIs, 3rd in doubles, 7th in extra base hits, and 6th in total bases.
Hey, I got to tell you, Dom Dema, having coached alongside the guy, the thing about Dom that stood out is his competitiveness. We'd be in a Thursday Skelly, 7-on-7 pass, and the guy wants to complete every single pass. He came out every single practice and competed.
2nd and 8 for the Thunder. Metter hands off and upended in the backfield is Scogan. Not a whole lot there. The other inductees we'll tell you about more a little later on. Rick Lamas, a wrestler. Matt Sassolino, who is also a wrestler. And Tasha Shepard, an integral part of the emergence of Elmhurst College women's soccer. All graduates of the class of 2005. Get to some first down numbers here. It is a loss of 3 on the play. 3rd and 12 for the Thunder. Metter fakes the handoff. Looks, pumps, throws to the left side. The catch is made, but shy of the first down by the tailback, Jarrett.
Far side of the field.
First down numbers, Wheaton with 101 yards on 25 plays. Elmhurst with 84 yards on 10 plays.
Jarrett with the reception.
7 first downs for the Thunder, 4 for Elmhurst. 52 yards on the ground, 49 through the air. 68 on the ground for Elmhurst and 16 through the air. Vargas, 40 yards on his first punt. Lines up on 4th and 2 with Tun standing at his own 43. Just underway in the second quarter, tied at 7. The play clock ticking down. The Thunder have to hurry to get it off at 1. Here's the kick from Vargas with some pressure. Tun signals for the fair catch, steps up to the 45, and he will make it there. After difficulties on his first opportunity, he makes the fair catch at the 45, and we continue to look at some first quarter numbers. Scotty Williams with 42 yards and a touchdown for Elmhurst. Peter Jarrett, 29 yards on the ground. Jordan Roberts, 18. Roberts was 4 of 8 with a touchdown and a pick, 49 yards. Joe Furco, 2 of 4 for 16 yards. A 15-yard completion to Bobby Vavlis and a 1-yard completion to Ryan Bach, who also ran for 26 yards in the first quarter. Each team with a turnover. Wheaton with a dominant edge in time of possession, 10-13 to 4-47. The Thunder were 4 of 6 on third down. Elmhurst 1 of 2. So those were the first quarter numbers in this matchup of unbeaten teams on homecoming at Langhorst Field today. Scotty Williams on first down, gobbled up in the backfield. Hit immediately. Austin Driggers leading the charge for a loss of a yard on the play. Driggers hailing from Abilene, Texas.
Certainly coming into today, Tim, one of the things you have to be concerned about is the 3-4 scheme. You don't see it every day in practice. It's a scheme that has 4 linebackers loose, able to scrape to the football. They can give you a lot of different looks, especially from pressure standpoint. So you got to get a hat on a hat. And from an offensive line perspective, it can be very difficult to block.
2nd and 11. Furco will throw. Flushed from the pocket, rolling right. He is hurried. His pass is caught by Vavlis. Pressure coming from the Thunder. As J.D. East forcing Furco to roll out. Gain of 7 on the play. 3rd and 3 on the Wheaton side of the 48.
But you put yourself in a good third down position here. We mentioned Wheaton's success on third down. Elmhurst is not too shabby either. They're 2nd in the conference currently coming into this week, converting almost 45% of their third downs.
Furco looking to throw. Steps up, underthrown. Payton cannot make the catch. There was contact and a flag. Contact with Tyler Langs defensively.
Boy, pretty late one from the back judge here. There's definitely contact with Langs and Payton coming down, a little hand fighting. Wheaton coaches are giving the umps an earful, but fortunate call for the Jays.
Pass interference call against Wheaton.
It is a pass interference call against Wheaton. And Mike Swider is not the happiest man in the world. They will spot it at the 33-yard line. An automatic first down with 12:41 to play in the half, tied at 7. So a fresh set of downs for the Blue Jays. Vavlis to the near, Payton to the far, Bach in motion. A play action towards Williams. Furco steps up and he overshoots Payton, heading deep down the field. But, Tony, it's nice to see Elmhurst is taking some chances to try to challenge that Wheaton secondary.
They are. And I'll tell you, it's been a two-man route the last couple times off of play action. So they're protecting Furco, giving him some time, sending Payton in a one-on-one situation. If they're going to walk those safeties, Langs and McMullen, down into the box, your corners better be able to play some man-to-man coverage. And right now, Coach Lester and the offense are really challenging that ability.
2nd and 10, spotted at the 33-yard line. We're thinking about potential field goals. The 39-yarder is the longest for J.R. Delacondro this year. He's never attempted anything outside of 39 yards. Williams turns right, huge hole. First down distance inside the 20, tripped up at the 16-yard line.
Boy, is this kid explosive. A little counter game here as the left guard comes around, seals the edge, and Williams is through like a lightning bolt.
Corey Hart on the tackle, and the Blue Jays knocking on the door with 12:19 remaining in the half in a 7-7 game.
And keeping it very balanced, Tim. You're getting first down throws and runs, mixing it up with running on draw on third down. So
handoff to Bach. Hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a couple down towards the 12-yard line. Wheaton was ready that time. They were not about to give another 26-yard gain to Ryan Bach.
4-yard gain on the play.
Hey, how about Williams, just to highlight this young man? How about rushing for over 170 yards in each of the past 3 games? And he's got 2 touchdowns, like you mentioned, in all 4 games so far this season. This kid's been great.
Glad you're with us today on homecoming at Elmhurst. Bach from right to left tries to lead the way for Williams, who turns left on his feet inside the 10, falling down near the 5-yard line. On his back, Richard Ramsey with a stop.
Outstanding job by the left side of the offensive line. Hamoki, Virgil, and Kirkpatrick, the center, getting a cutoff look there. And that time, Williams ran right through an arm tackle at Jordan Langs.
It is a 3rd and short. Don't forget you can follow the Elmhurst College athletic programs through elmhurstbluejays.com. Not just the football team, but all of the sports, fall, winter, and spring.
Little power eye look here.
Williams tries the outside, and a touchdown saving tackle made by Tyler Langs as a flag flies in at the point of contact.
I think they're going to say Langs went at the helmet. It was hard to tell. It's on the far side of the field here from the booth, Tim.
Both Langs were in on the stop. They'll pick up the flag.
Yeah.
It is a first down for the Blue Jays, spot at the 2-yard line with 10:34 to go in the half, tied at 7.
Looked a little more violent when it happened live, but clean play. Williams able to burst it outside, and this is not an uncommon scene we've seen inside the 5-yard line from the Tim Lester offense. Getting in that power eye, and now watch out for play action as they come out of it.
It's the power eye again. In addition to Ryan Bach, the Blue Jays also with Dan Vicari in. And it is Vicari with a lead block on the play action pass, a jump ball, incomplete. Targeting Sean Soroka, the senior tight end.
Hey, first down's a great time to run that play. You can come back, you get 3 cracks at it from about the 3-yard line. I like it. And they're coming back in with a spread set now as you see Payton and Tunn and the rest of the crew rolling in for the Jays.
Kind of looked like a jump pass, something we've seen from the University of Florida over the past couple of seasons.
Hey, how about Sean Soroka, this kid who got passed up on the depth chart by Ryan Bach. He's in there every day working hard in practice. He's getting some shots here down the goal line.
Play clock is at 10. 2nd and goal. The Blue Jays spread it out with 4 wide. Furco will look left. He will throw, and it is incomplete behind Bobby Vavlis.
Intended for Vavlis.
Now Furco that time off his back foot. Didn't set. Should be a 3-step and go. Anytime you got 5 wide, you know the ball's coming out very, very quickly. Needs to set his feet and get under it a little bit.
3rd and goal. The Blue Jays have yet to put it on the ground. See if that happens here with the power I formation in front of Scotty Williams. Nope, looks like they're going to spread it out again. Williams is the lone back. Tunn and Vavlis to the near side, Payton to the far. On 3rd and goal. Furco throwing again, targeting Payton, underthrown, incomplete. And Elmhurst will have to settle for an opportunity to add 3 to the board.
A play like that takes a lot of timing. We run it every day in practice. You're going to get contact from the corner. You want to throw it back shoulder. That time Payton and Furco not on the same page.
J.R. Delicandro, 3 out of 5 in field goal opportunities this season, as long as 39. This will be a 20-yard attempt. He is 1 of 1 on attempts inside the 20-yard line. There's an official's timeout as Charlie Hamaki exits and Eric Personius enters for Elmhurst.
Well, you hope Charlie's not too dinged up. He's a 10-game starter last year as a freshman. Solid on that left side of the line.
20-yard try for Delicandro to try to put the Blue Jays in front here in the second quarter. They led 7-0 today before Wheaton took advantage of a muffed punt. The snap is low, the kick is up. It's a line drive, angling left and through. Elmhurst retakes the lead with 10:03 to play in the half, 10-7.
What the job Delicandro's done this year, replacing Elmhurst's all-time leading scorer from the kicker position in Tyler Lomnicki. That's his 4th field goal on the year. He's 14 of 17 from extra points. He's knocked in a 39-yarder, Tim. He's a kid who's kind of waited his turn, sat behind Tyler, and he's done well. He's taken over the job of the kickoff as well.
11 plays, 52 yards, 3 minutes and 25 seconds, capped by a 20-yard field goal from Delicandro, his 4th field goal of the year, as the Blue Jays take a 10-7 lead early in the second quarter.
Completely different pace to this game than what was present in last game's meeting out in Wheaton, Illinois. It was a game that saw the Thunder completely control the clock. Been fairly even up to this point so far, but Elmhurst was incapable of converting a 3rd down a year ago. Able to move the ball a little bit more effectively today. We'll see if they can continue that.
J.R. Delicandro to kick it off. Micah Markley deep for the Thunder, and it'll be Markley from the 10. And he flips it back to Tyler Langs, who continues it at the 20-yard line, and not a whole lot there as the Thunder try a little trickery on special teams. A 10-yard return officially for Markley, and then 8 yards on the continuation for Tyler Langs, but there is a flag on the play as well. It came in on the opposite side of where the play was developing, and it is an offside on the Blue Jays.
Really interesting call here for the Wheaton coaching staff.
I think you make them do it again.
Pretty good field position here, but yeah, make them cover. How about Elmhurst this year, though, so far? They've covered 21 kicks, given up less than 400 yards. They're averaging about 18 yards a return, which is pretty good for a coverage unit.
Five yards added to the end of the run is the call. So they'll march it ahead from the 28 to the 33.
Hey, one of the guys running down there, steamrolling people on the kickoff, is Randy Wright, number 6, the All-American. So a guy that, of course, the heart and soul of your defense, down there running special teams as well.
The official spot is the 34. And it is a 1st and 10 for the Thunder, trailing for the second time today, 10-7. And under center is Garrett Metter.
Huge possession here for the Wheaton Thunder. They have to get something going here against this Jays defense. Right now, momentum's on the home sideline.
Peter Jarrett on the left side of Metter. Metter with time, underthrows, and incomplete behind Charlie Ansell. I'm going to be honest with you, Tony, the Thunder have not done very much with Garrett Metter under center so far. They moved the ball pretty effectively in the first quarter. Really just a turnover by Jordan Roberts, a mistake that prevented the Thunder from adding another touchdown to the board.
Yeah, coming into today, Roberts and Metter have been nearly identical. About the same passing yards, a little bit of difference in the touchdown passes. Roberts has thrown a few more interceptions, but
inside give to Jarrett. Gobbled up at the line of scrimmage. Among those on the stop, Wayne Tuxson, the sophomore out of Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey, you mentioned Tuxson as Randy Wright there loses his cap. But Tuxson's one of the reasons they felt comfortable moving Randy Wright to the outside. Brandon Jones is solid, all-conference type of player at the other outside linebacker position. But the emergence of Wayne Tuxson, the youngster from Kentucky, and his ability to call the defense allowed the coaching staff to move Randy outside and be a bit of a more of a playmaker on the edge.
Give you an update on some of the scores around the CCIW in a few moments after this third down attempt for the Thunder. Angle to the left, and it's dropped by Jarrett as Janis with all kinds of pressure hitting Metter, forcing him to get rid of the ball perhaps before he won it.
Real quick, Tim, speaking of Jones and Wright, right on key, the two of the players there that we just mentioned, out spying that back. Even if he had caught that ball, it wouldn't have gone very far.
North Central leads Augustana 7-0 first quarter. Milliken leading Carthage 17-14. That is in the second quarter of play. And Illinois Wesleyan and North Park will start in about 5 minutes. So the third punt of the day for Wheaton.
That Milliken-Carthage game should be a pretty good one.
Here's Vargas with the kick, backing up Ton, and Tawny bouncing in, Tawny rolling down to the 15, where it is downed by Ryan Foster.
How about a difference in styles in that Milliken-Carthage game? Evan Jones comes into the game averaging over 300 yards a game passing. On the other side of the ball, Dion Wilson from Milliken is averaging almost 165 yards rushing. So a contrast in styles, so it should be interesting to see how that one goes.
Elmhurst looking to add to a 10-7 lead. With 8:57 remaining in the first half. The Blue Jays starting 1st and 10 from their own 16. Ton in motion. Williams on the give. Outside, ducks under a tackler, dives towards the first down marker, but he is just shy. Stopped on the play by Mike Dozeman. Gain of 8, 2nd and 2.
Williams that time running the zone stretch off the right side, testing Stamos and Personius there, and we see Hamoki back at left tackle, so the offensive line is in full throttle here, and they're moving people off the line of scrimmage. See if they can get Ton shake loose here in the slot. They're using a combination of safeties and linebackers to work on him.
It is Ton in motion again. Scotty Williams to the right side has the first down and more, crossing the 35-yard line and stopped at the 36 by J.D. East. A first down for Elmhurst.
Boy, they keep feeding this kid the rock, and he's delivering every single time, Tim. And you got to credit this offensive line. They are moving people out of the way. And take a look at that Wheaton defense with the hands on the hips. Great way to control the pace of the game here by keeping it between the tackles.
Scotty Williams, the CCIW Offensive Player of the Week for the second time this year after gaining 186 yards in last week's win over North Park on 23 carries. He's approaching 100 yards in the first half, 86 on 11 carries, and he'll gain 4 more out to the 40-yard line.
Well, Scotty has already eclipsed the yards per game average that the Wheaton defense has allowed going into this game. They are second in the conference, only allowing about 85 yards a game up till today.
5-yard gain on the
Brian
play.
McMullen, along with Robert Ramsey on the stop for the Thunder. A gain of 5 for Scotty Williams. And 2nd and 5. We have crossed the midway point of the second quarter. Elmhurst leading Wheaton 10-7 on homecoming here at Elmhurst College today. Ton in motion to the right side. Furco will roll left. He steps up, flushed from the pocket, rolls to his right. Now he'll keep a lot of daylight in front, and Furco will wisely waltz his way out of bounds after the first down marker to the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 for the sophomore and a first down.
Very heady by the young man. And Tim, you've become familiar with this program the last few seasons. I mean, Furco has improved by leaps and bounds, has he not, in just his decision-making process from last year to this year?
I think it comes with more and more time on the field.
Sure.
You just learn from taking to the field. There's a reason why last year they wanted to get Joe Furco on the field as the quarterback.
Happened about game 3, game 4. Yep.
He stepped in, played the entire CCIW season. You have to learn sometimes by making mistakes. And he has definitely learned, as the handoff will go to Griffin Gibson, the junior from Stevensville, Michigan. He will fall forward for about 2 on the play.
More of a square shoulders style runner, kind of a point A to point B type of guy, but he's able to spell Williams here and there. They haven't necessarily developed an explosive back behind Williams quite yet, but Gibson is a serviceable player, and he's able to spell Williams from time to time.
Griffin Gibson and Andrew Tubeck, been running backs that have seen time in addition to Williams. Gibson with 127 yards, Tubeck with 88 on the season. Furco to throw, sidesteps his way right, and is caught by Payton, cutting in. Payton still on his feet, working his way to the 20-yard line. Pressure coming from Mike Dozeman, the Wheaton linebacker, who is limping back at midfield.
Well, the Jays giving Wheaton a bit of their own medicine here. Ball control offense. Wheaton not able to get off the field defensively here, and Furco cool in the pocket, able to find Payton there and convert the first down.
Down to 5:45 in this first half. Elmhurst leads 10-7, and the Blue Jays attempting to add to the advantage as Tunn sprints behind Furco. Williams to the left. Still on his feet, hasn't been touched. He is hit inside the 20, falling forward near the 15-yard line. On his back, Ryan Dugan.
Grinding away at it.
Dugan and Dansville with the tackle for Wheaton.
91 yards on the ground for Scotty Williams here in the first half.
5-yard gain.
Yeah, and the one thing that we haven't had thus far this year is a game like this temperature-wise. You know, Scotty Williams has been able to stay on the field for the majority of the possessions. That 80-degree heat's going to wear on him a little bit. You got to save him a little bit for the second half.
And it is Gibson in the backfield relieving Williams on 2nd and 5. They'll run play action to Gibson, stepping up, throwing over the middle of the Tunn, into the end zone for the touchdown. Corey Tunn reeling in his 8th grab of the year and his first touchdown as a member of the Blue Jays. And Elmhurst has the opportunity to take a 10-point lead here in the first half.
Corey Tunn atones for his muffed punt earlier in the game. We mentioned at the beginning of the drive, how are they going to deal with Tunn in the slot? That time he ran a little bootleg, came across the middle, crossed in front of the safeties, behind the linebackers. Nobody picked him up in the secondary, and Furco found him.
Alejandro to add to the lead. Here's the extra point, up and through, 17-7. Elmhurst leading with 4:45 to play in the first half. An 8-play, 84-yard drive spanning 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Well, we were telling you about the Blue Jay Backer Hall of Fame inductees. We mentioned Dom Dema. How about Rick Lamis, 2005 graduate, finished his collegiate career as Elmhurst's all-time winningest wrestler. 2-time national qualifier at 157 pounds. He earned All-America honors during the 2005 season by placing 5th. Despite wrestling with an injury, he captured the CCIW championship in 2004 and 2005 and was the most outstanding wrestler in the conference in 2004. During 2005, he helped Elmhurst capture its first ever CCIW championship, earning a top 10 finish and tying an Elmhurst single season record for wins with a 38-7 record. Finished his career with a 112-45 mark. Another wrestler, Matt Sassolino, also graduated in 2005. Became the first Elmhurst wrestler to achieve All-American recognition. 2-time national qualifier at 184. Earned a pair of All-America honors in his career, placing 7th in 2004 and 3rd in 2005. Also helping the Blue Jays to that conference title at a top 10 finish in 2005. He finished with a record of 60-19. We'll have one more Hall of Famer to get to after the kickoff from D'Alessandro, handled at the 5-yard line. And it's dropped. Charlie Antel dropped the kickoff at the 5-yard line. Had to recover. Wheaton is fortunate to hang on to the possession, but they will have awful field position to start.
Tim, Wheaton has to be careful on this possession here. There is a clear shift in momentum towards the Blue Jays sideline. They're in control of the pace of the game. Right now, that energy level is high for the Blue Jays. Wheaton has to come up with something here to kind of quell this storm that the Blue Jays have created.
17-7. Elmhurst with the advantage. 4:38 to play in the first half. The quarterback is again Garrick Metter. Metter hands it off to Joey Skogan, shuttling left for a gain of 7. Shy of the 20-yard line, out to the 19.
7-yard gain on the play.
Garrett Metter, the junior quarterback out of Fishers, Indiana. Been splitting time this year with Jordan Roberts, a sophomore out of Yorkville. J.J. Clark is the lone running back, as Justin Zeller, who left the game with an injury early, comes in motion. The pass is underthrown, targeted for Zeller, and broken up. Solid defense again from Jamal Lane, who had an interception earlier in the ball game and also put quite a lick on Zeller, who may have been thinking about it as he's a little slow to get up and head back to the Wheaton huddle. 3rd and 3, but a good opportunity to take a chance downfield.
No doubt about it. And Tim, we have a little bit of a wider vantage point here from the box, and that time came all the way across in motion. Jamal Lane carried him in man-to-man coverage. They ran a little post-wheel combination, and Jamal Lane in great position the entire way down the field.
Don't forget to become a fan of Elmhurst College Athletics on Facebook. You can also follow the Blue Jays on Twitter, in addition to Blue Jay TV on Twitter to get the upcoming schedule. Passing again is Metter, and it is broken up by Dane Paul, but a flag late. Paul in on coverage against Colby Kemp, but a very late flag from the line judge.
And it came from the line judge. You mentioned it. 20 yards out of position of the play. That time, unless they're getting Dane with a hand on the back, looked like he timed it up pretty well.
It is pass interference against Elmhurst and an automatic first down. Tony, there are things you cannot do against a team of Wheaton's caliber, and that is on 3rd down, commit big penalties.
No doubt about it. Tough call for the Jays. You just have to move on from it. You know, the thing with Dane now is you got to let it stay on the field. You can't carry that with you to the next play here. Corners have to have a very short memory, and we'll see if Paul can sort of right the ship here.
3:46 left in the half. Wheaton would love to find a way to, at the very least, end up with 3 points to chip away at the lead heading into the locker room.
Deciding to spread things out here a little bit. Little trips look.
Trips to the near side for the Thunder. Metter looking left, targeting the only man on the left side. Antel reels it in shy of midfield at the 48, but he will have a first down.
Boy, Jamal Lane very conservative in the coverage there, giving up quite a cushion. You feel like Jamal athletically can hang, but able to run off and not in great position to make a play.
Wheaton trying to run a little bit of a hurry up here, Tony, perhaps trying to catch the Blue Jays off rhythm.
And changing personnel still all the way, now under center.
Play action. Metter steps up, throws over the middle, looks for the tight end. The catch is made by Austin Zerhoff, and he will dance into the end zone for a touchdown. In addition to pass interference, as Kyle Demas, the safety, came up and got to him before he had the chance to make the play, but just a jump ball for the 6'4" senior who brought it in despite the pass interference. They'll wave it off, and the Thunder have an opportunity to pull within a field goal late in the first half.
You've got to take your hat off to Zerhoff there. Demas in great position. We've talked about Demas in previous broadcasts of how he's really come along as a safety, and he's always in the right place at the right time. That play in great position. Zerhoff just made the play and took it away from him.
Speaking of broadcasts, we will have audio on Blue Jay TV for all of the road games. And next week, Elmhurst heads to Bloomington to meet Illinois Wesleyan in a night matchup. Kickoff is scheduled for 6 o'clock. Roche attempting the extra point. Pressure coming. He pushed it to the right, but was able to sneak it through the upright. And it's 17-14 with 3:16 to play in the half.
Just what Wheaton needed there coming into the half. You mentioned it on the 3rd down there. You can't give Wheaton second chances. It's a team that'll hurt you. They have offensive ability. They can run the ball at you. They have some weapons on the outside. And the more opportunities you give them, the more fire you're playing with.
additional.
52-yard touchdown from Metter to Zerhoff. As Wheaton needs only 4 plays to drive 88 yards and claw to within 17-14. And you were talking about how much the momentum was on Elmhurst's side. The penalty sets up a first down, and moments later, Wheaton takes advantage with a 52-yard scoring strike. Roche kicking for the Thunder with Payton and Tunn deep for Elmhurst.
Jays have been averaging nearly 25 yards a kickoff return so far this season. We'll see if either Payton or Tunn, two explosive players with the football, can cut one loose here.
In the closing moments of an exciting first half here at Langhorse Field on homecoming for Elmhurst. A short kick from Roche, backing Payton up to the 12, and he drops it. Payton recovers, and he has a huge hole, but he cannot sidestep Brian McBroom. A nice tackle at the 33-yard line, thwarting what could have been a huge return after the initial miscue from Payton.
Outstanding job by the kickoff return team, staying on their blocks, able to give Payton a seam, and you got to think that Lester's going to go after him here. Still plenty of time on the clock, about 3 minutes.
3:09 to be exact. Elmhurst with 2 timeouts in their pocket. Vavlis split wide.
Offensive line has shown an ability to protect Furco so far, so you got to feel good about things going forward here.
Tunn and Payton near. Williams is the running back, and all kinds of motion. Tunn moving before the snap, perhaps reacting to the blitz that Wheaton was showing. And Elmhurst will back up 5 yards.
Well, keeping that level of intensity steady throughout the game is what coaches are always looking for. Not too many peaks and valleys. Right now, it's clearly Wheaton feeling it. They have a little bit more of a hop in their step. The best way to sort of squash that as an offensive team is to put together a few first downs here.
Tunn in motion to the near side. Lines up in the slot. Scotty Williams on the give. Off tackle. Flag flies in after Williams gains 3.
Williams was the ball carrier.
It's an Elmhurst team that's struggled with penalties. 35 coming into today. They average 75 yards a game.
A personal foul against the Thunder. And so Wheaton with a huge mistake after a penalty backed up the Blue Jays. 5 yards on a 1st and 15. They would have been facing a 2nd and 13, but a personal foul will give Elmhurst a first down at the 47-yard line.
Huge mistake. Very, very uncharacteristic of a Mike Swider coached Wheaton football team, too.
Tunn is in the slot. Furco will roll left, look left, turn right, throw over the middle. It is caught by Tunn. On the Wheaton side, a gain of 15 out to the 36-yard line.
Brought down at the 35-yard line.
And just like that, they turn over field position. Blue Jays on the move again. And right now, Wheaton has no answer for Tunn in the slot. They're staying with their base 3-4 alignment, using the 2 safeties and a combination of linebackers, and Tunn's able to exploit that matchup.
18-yard completion to Tunn, his 2nd catch of the day, and now they'll give to Williams, who will work his way inside the 35 towards the 33, stopped by Jordan Langs after a gain of 2.
Gain of 1 on the play.
Down to 2:10 remaining in the half. A late substitution for Elmhurst. Sprinting on is Joe St. Peter, junior out of West Bend, Wisconsin. He'll line up on the far side. Pressure for Furco. He steps out of the hit, keeps inside the 30, gaining 7 yards. Brought down by Ryan Dugan at the 28.
Little Houdini there by Joe Furco, slipping right through the defensive tackle.
And a timeout for Elmhurst. Robert Ramsey, the defensive lineman, provided the pressure. He just ran directly past Furco, couldn't bring him in.
Plenty of activity during
3rd
that
and
time.
3. with 1:50 remaining in the half. And let's tell you about the final Hall of Fame inductee into the Blue Jay Backer Hall of Fame, Tasha Shepard, 2005 graduate, an integral part of the Elmhurst women's soccer team in the early part of this decade. Second team All-American. During the 2002 season, Shepard became the first player in CCIW history to earn all conference honors in all 4 of her seasons. First Elmhurst runner to earn, or first Elmhurst player to earn 3 first-team all-conference honors from 2001 to 2003. Closed out her career as a 3-time all-region choice as well. A 4-year starter at defender, Shepard helped anchor the Blue Jays defense and turn Elmhurst into an annual CCIW contender in women's soccer. Dom Dema, Rick Lamas, Matt Sassolino, and Tasha Shepard, your 2010 Blue Jay Backer Hall of Fame inductees today.
Congratulations to those guys. Quite a class.
All graduates of the 2005. Elmhurst leading 17-14 over 18th ranked Wheaton, and the only matchup of undefeated CCIW teams today, both teams with 4-0 records.
Got one-on-one coverage across the board here, Tim.
3rd and 3. Furco hurried, throws for Payton. He's in coverage. It is broken up. Incomplete. Good coverage by Tyler Langs, who is in position to knock it away from Rodney Payton.
And right now you're in position to go for it. A little bit of out of Delacondro's range, I would think here. Not sure how much of an edge 3 points gets you at this point.
You're looking at about a 46-yard try, and Furco immediately to the sideline. I don't even think there's going to be a question here, as the Blue Jays will go for it.
Wheaton has found some success with some pressure in the A-gaps here. They're bringing a little bit of extra heat between the 2 guard positions. We'll see if Elmhurst can hold up long enough to get Furco some time and find one of his receivers.
Fans on both sides come to life with 1:43 to play in the half. Elmhurst leading 17-14, facing a 4th and 3. Incomplete, out of the hands of Payton. He had the catch, but thought about Tyler Langs, who was going to place a hit on Payton, and it falls incomplete. Fortunately, there was no safeties over the top. Otherwise, that would have been an easy interception. It popped out and hung in the air, and the Wheaton defense finds a way to hold. Now they have an opportunity to potentially drive down and try to tie it up or take the lead before the half.
Yeah, you have to be very careful here. Working off play action, getting a one-on-one with one of the receivers on either Lane or Paul.
Metter still at quarterback. They'll send Kemp in motion and a handoff for Jarrett. And Jarrett is met at the 30-yard line by Randy Wright, a gain of 2. Wheaton does have 3 timeouts to work with, down to 1:25. Kind of a conservative play call on first down.
Yeah, a little bit curious there. You figure they'd go after him, felt like they had momentum rolling. But, like you said, 3 timeouts to work with as well.
2nd and 10. Kemp again in motion. It's a play action. Here comes the heat. The pass is intercepted. Picked off by Demas at the 37, down the far sideline, and into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, we mentioned Wheaton was conservative on first down. On second down, the heat coming from Brandon Jones, forcing Metter to throw the interception. Demas reels it in at the 37 and shuffles his way down the far sideline into the end zone for a Blue Jay touchdown with 1 minute on the clock.
Kyle Demas getting his turn at a big play. Zorhoff took him for 1 on the previous drive. This time it's Demas answering back. Like we mentioned, a guy in the right place at the right time, able to show some athleticism there.
2 years ago, 6 turnovers lead to 24 points. Early today, 2 turnovers leading to 13 points with potentially 14 if Delacondro can come through with his 3rd PAT today. The kick is up, and it's right down Main Street. 24-14, just like that. Elmhurst is back in front by 10 after the 37-yard interception return from Demas. A defensive touchdown.
A Wheaton team that's been very, very careful with the football. +8, like we mentioned, coming in today. Averaging 2 more turnovers taken away than given away coming into today per game. Wheaton not accustomed to making mistakes. The penalties, the turnovers. Demas taking advantage of it. And how about Demas picking up Rodney Payton?
The fight song blares here at Langhorse Field. And the flags, which were a big part of the pregame presentation for the Blue Jays. Quite the nice entrance today, stirred by Ian Armstrong, the senior offensive lineman from Lombard, Illinois. He was the one who carried the flag in, and now some of his fellow students firing up the crowd by sprinting up and down the sidelines as the Blue Jays lead by 10 with 1 minute to play in the half. Here's the kick from Delicandro. Got to be careful here. It is a nice kick. All the way back to the 3-yard line, taken by Teddy Watkins. His first return today, straight ahead, dropped shy of the 30-yard line. Ryan Johnson, the sophomore from Orland Park, with a special teams tackle.
We'll see how conservative Wheaton wants to play it here.
I'll say again, they have 3 timeouts.
Boy, as a nationally ranked program and a program that's beaten Elmhurst now 51 times as compared to 20 losses in the history of the matchup, I think you got to flex your muscles here and not limp back into the locker room.
So Metter still at quarterback. Each of the Wheaton quarterbacks have thrown an interception today.
And it looks like they'll get after it here.
It is the spread set. 2 to the far, 1 to the near, and as soon as you say that, they opt instead to go the safe route, handing off to Joey Scogan, straight ahead for 4 yards.
Well, I'm a big believer in sending messages to teams, and to me what Swider's telling his team here is he doesn't have confidence in him going into the half here. If I'm Wheaton, I keep charging ahead and put the pressure on the Blue Jays.
34 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 5 for the Thunder. And a handoff again to Scogan. And he is met behind the line of scrimmage. Matt Street, among others, for the Blue Jays. Pete Alfano there as well, and a timeout with 17 seconds left because a flag flew in late.
Potentially a devastating call here if it's against the Jays.
Personal foul against Wheaton. The 7th penalty of the half against the Thunder. Penalties and turnovers have been incredibly costly to Wheaton thus far today.
I'm not so sure defensively now. You don't put the pressure on Wheaton and force them to punt to you again and use a timeout.
"12 seconds remaining in the half. Elmhurst, it looks like, will not take a timeout. The 24 points put up in the first half by the Blue Jays are the most points scored against Wheaton by an opponent this season. The Thunder will indeed get the playoff. A quick draw to Jarrett. Gains about 3, and we head to the half with Elmhurst leading 24-14. They allowed 20 points in a home win over Wisconsin-Platteville on September 18th. In the first half to Elmhurst today, they surrender 24 as the Blue Jays lead 24-14. Solid opening half for Elmhurst. They will look to carry the momentum in the second as they lead Wheaton 24-14 at the break. Before we say farewell at the half, let's take a quick look at the other scores from around the conference today. It is Milliken just underway in the third quarter, leading at Carthage 24-17. North Central all over Augustana. They are at halftime with the Cardinals leading 20-0. And Illinois Wesleyan, with just under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter, has a 2-touchdown lead on North Park, 13-0 pending the extra point, which is good. And now it is a 14-0 lead for the Titans. Illinois Wesleyan 14-0 over North Park. Milliken 24-17 over Carthage, and North Central a 20-0 lead over Augustana. The other scores around the CCIW today. 2 teams will enter play today, will exit play today, unbeaten in conference play. The winner of this game and the winner of the North Central Augustana contest will both be 2-0 in CCIW play. Elmhurst leads Wheaton 24-14 at the half. Coming your way shortly, we will have the first half numbers and much, much more on this homecoming here
Thank you very much for your
at Elmhurst.
service.
24-14, the Blue Jays with the lead at the half. This is Blue Jay TV.
84 yards. Penalties, Wheaton 7.
Halftime on homecoming at Langhorse Field here on the campus of Elmhurst College. Tim Calderwood with you alongside Tony Menestra. The Blue Jays leading Wheaton 24-14. A very surprising outcome on the scoreboard to this juncture, as the Blue Jays have done a great job in the first half, converting on a pair of turnovers by Wheaton, resulting in a touchdown on each opportunity, including a 37-yard interception return by Kyle Demas, as the Blue Jays scored with 1 minute left. They were up 17-7, saw Wheaton charge back on a 52-yard strike, ball within 17-14 before the interception return. Here are the numbers from the first half of play. Very even, surprisingly. Wheaton has run 39 plays for 184 yards. Elmhurst 34 plays for 233. Rushing, Wheaton with just 59 yards on 24 carries, 125 yards through the air. Elmhurst with 144 yards on the ground and 89 yards passing. A couple of the other numbers for you. Possession belongs to Wheaton, 15:59 to 14:01. The Thunder are 4 of 9 on third down. Elmhurst is 2 of 5. Wheaton, though, is 0 for 1 in the red zone. Elmhurst 3 for 3. And penalties, a big factor in the first half. 7 Wheaton penalties for 75 yards. 3 Elmhurst penalties for 25 yards. As the Blue Jays will receive the football to begin the second half. Scott Roche ready to kick it away. It's Corey Tunn standing deep for the Blue Jays along with Rodney Payton. It is a high kick, backing Payton all the way up to the goal line. Payton angles left, cuts back to the right, and he's stopped shy of the 20-yard line by a host of Wheaton players. We'll get to some inside the numbers. Tony's got a few highlights that he'd like to point out here in a moment, but first some individual stats. Joe Furco in the first half, 6 of 14, 89 yards and a touchdown. Wheaton's double quarterbacks, very similar numbers. Jordan Roberts, 4 of 8 with a touchdown and an INT, 49 yards. Garrett Metter, 3 of 7 with a touchdown, an INT, and 76 yards. 101 yards rushing in the first half for Scotty Williams, including a touchdown. Just 29 yards for Peter Jarrett, perhaps telling a big story in this contest, as we figured the ground game would be a big factor for each of these teams. And Tony, for Wheaton, it has not shown up here in the first half, as Elmhurst begins the second half by giving it to Scotty Williams.
The ball carrier.
He picks up about 4 yards out to the 23.
Yeah, it's a Wheaton defense that's allowed, coming into today, only 85 yards on the ground. Williams has eclipsed that himself, and very uncharacteristic of a Wheaton defense to allow teams to grind against them. Typically, it's Wheaton, like we mentioned in the first half, that's able to convert third downs, convert red zone opportunities. But today it's been the Jays sort of turning the table on the Thunder.
Wildcat. Payton in the shotgun formation with Furco lined up as a receiver to the near side. And in motion comes Chase Hamby, and the Hamby will throw downfield. The pass is caught by Joe St. Peter, the junior out of West Bend, Wisconsin. How about that for a look? Payton out of the Wildcat, hands off to Chase Hamby, a freshman wide receiver who we haven't seen all day, who promptly throws downfield for a big gain.
And we talked about in the first half changing the culture of the Elmhurst College football program. How about that call by Tim Lester, keeping the foot on the throat of this Wheaton defense?
It worked once. Why not try it again? Furco lines up as a receiver on the far side with Payton out of the shotgun. In motion comes Hamby. Payton keeps himself, and he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
Whatever comes of this drive, Tim, you still got to find it a success because they've changed field position immediately to start this second half. With a fairly modest lead, and a modest lead is 10 points, turning over field position is huge in a second half of a football game.
24-14, Elmhurst with the advantage. They had the football 2nd and 11 from the Wheaton 38-yard line on the opening possession of the second half. A little miscommunication. Joe Furco saying, hey, Bobby Vavlis, come in motion, please. I've signaled 3 times. And now Vavlis is in motion as Furco steps up, throws down the seam deep into the corner for Payton, in and out of his hands. He was open and almost had the Elmhurst touchdown.
Well, Rodney Payton's had a couple of plays right on his fingertips. The 4th down, of course, here on the slant play at the end of the second quarter. This time, looked like Furco put it right on him. Still, you got to keep coming at him here. He's your most explosive big play threat, Rodney Payton.
Elmhurst outscored Wheaton 17-7 in the second quarter. They lead 24-14 with 12:54 to play here in the third quarter, facing a 3rd and 11. We assume this is 2-down territory for the Blue Jays. Scotty Williams receives the delay, and he will fall forward towards the 35-yard line, gaining about 3, but well short of the first down.
A little bit of a different look that time on the 3rd down package from Wheaton. They've been bringing pressure on Furco. That time running into only a 3-man rush, and Williams not able to find the seam. But still able to turn over field position here.
And it is 4th down as the punting unit heads to the field. Brian Lesueur punted just once in the first half, a 41-yard punt. Doesn't need to get a whole lot on the punt here, just some good hang time to try to pin the Thunder inside the 20.
And Lesueur's been a nice little surprise this season, stepping in for Lomnicki.
They might take a delay of game here. Looks like they will. Play clock expires. And a delay of game against Elmhurst backs up the Blue Jays and gives Lesueur a little bit more room to work with as they'll spot it at the 41.
Young man's averaging almost 35 yards a kick. He's got a long of 70. See if he can't coffin corner one here on the right hash. Maybe want to angle it into that visitor's sideline over by the Langhorse Bell.
The victory bell that the Blue Jays hope to be ringing today. Punting on their first possession of the second half. Here is Lesueur's kick, high and deep. And getting out of the way is the return man, and it will head into the end zone. Tyler Langs, 6th in the nation in punt returns. Wise to get out of the way. Recognized it was well over his head.
Taking a look at some offensive numbers from Wheaton. How about this, Tim? 24 carries in the first half for 59 total yards. It's a Wheaton offense that has come in averaging almost 210 yards a contest. So Elmhurst able to shut down at least one facet of the Wheaton attack.
So Jordan Roberts played the first quarter. Roberts will begin as the quarterback for Wheaton here in the third quarter. After in the second quarter, the Thunder utilized their other quarterback, Garrett Metter.
And Metter threw the back-breaking interception to Demas. Took back for 7. Right now, that's the big difference in this game. The defensive touchdown.
24-14, Elmhurst on top with 11:57 to play in the third. It's the first possession for Wheaton here in the second half. Play action. Roberts will step up and he'll throw to the right side. It is caught by Colby Kemp near the first down marker.
And Tim, if they're going to release 4 receivers, including both tight ends, into the patterns, the front 4 of Elmhurst have got to get pressure on this Wheaton offensive line.
It is enough for a first down. Gain of 10 on the play. Kemp with the grab. And Jarrett fighting for extra yardage. Demas refused to give. 2 yards on the play, 2nd and 8. A matchup of two 4-0 teams. Elmhurst receiving votes in the D3Football.com top 25. Wheaton is ranked. Thunder with a big victory last week over Illinois Wesleyan, moving up in the rankings to number 18. Roberts throws. It is caught by Antel to the 43-yard line, and it seems, Tony, like an adjustment the Thunder is making is a little shorter pass routes.
Yeah, getting it out, sort of negating the pressure that defensive coordinator Joe Adam likes to bring, and he'll bring it in first, second, or third down situations. So Wheaton sort of making things easier for their quarterback and receivers.
1st and 10 again. Jarrett tripped up, works his way past a defender, and he's wrestled to the ground by John Janis after a pickup of 2. And there has not been a whole lot of running room for Wheaton today.
No. Hey,
this
last
is a
year,
run-first team.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Last year at McCulley Stadium, how about 55 carries for 317 yards? They just manhandled this Elmhurst Blue Jay defense, and not happening today.
Came into the game averaging 210 yards per game on the ground, just 59 in the first half. Pressure for Roberts, and it's dropped. Jim Cullen, the sophomore from Frankfort, Illinois, with a sack.
Little 3-step drop progression here, not able to find anyone on his 3rd step. Having to scramble a little bit, and the defensive line staying after it.
And it is a 3rd and 9, now 3rd and 10 as they back the ball up a yard. First sack of the game from either side as well.
A Wheaton unit that's been successful thus far this season on 3rd down. So far, 4 of 9 today.
Play action. Roberts flush from the pocket. Throws it for an incomplete for Antel, but a flag as Antel was hit by Jamal Lane.
They're going to say Jamal made contact in the back, and looked like he did. Got there a little bit early. Kind of went through the receiver to get to the football. Another big pass interference, and you hope lightning doesn't strike twice here, Tim. And at the end of the 2nd quarter, we saw what happened with a pass interference call.
Led to a 52-yard touchdown pass from Garrett Metter to his tight end, Austin Zerhoff.
But given an already explosive Wheaton offensive attack, 2nd and 3rd opportunities, not the equation for success.
It is a spot foul, so just 9 yards on the penalty. But the ball is on the Elmhurst side. They will pitch it to Jarrett. And he's gobbled up as a flag flies in by Demas. Boy, has he put together a solid game for Elmhurst. Loss of a yard on the play, but there is a flag on the play.
Referees have been busy, 11 penalties.
It is a hold against Wheaton.
That would be their 8th penalty, Tim, which would put them at 85 yards for the game.
All the way back to the 41-yard line of Elmhurst. 10-yard penalty sets up 1st and 20.
How about the job this defensive line has done? We've mentioned it a couple times, but being able to make Wheaton one-dimensional makes things a lot easier if you're calling plays defensively. And the pressure that these front 4 are putting on the running game of Wheaton is creating things in the secondary.
Wheaton team that put together 437 yards last week against Illinois Wesleyan. It was thought to be one of the best defensive teams in the CCIW last year. A gain of 11 on the pass completion as Roberts just flings it towards his receiver, but there is a flag on the play.
Right in the area of holding.
Catch was made by Davis Skinner, sophomore fullback. But the Thunder are headed the wrong direction. They'll back it to the 31.
Boy.
1st and 30 for Wheaton.
What do you got in the playbook for 1st and 30 here, Tim?
How about 3 10-yard plays? That'll get you the first down.
Sure.
What I have in the playbook is a pass.
Get a little old school Wheaton I formation here this drive.
And they will hand it off to Joey Scogan. And Scogan ran into the back of his own lineman.
Boy, the possibilities are endless here, and the playbook opens up from a defensive play calling perspective. You can bring pressure and stay after the Wheaton quarterback, or you can play coverage with it. You're really at the disposal of your playbook.
95 yards of penalties for Wheaton. Now listen to this. That's what makes it significant. They only have 206 yards of offense. So they have almost half as many yards in penalties as they do in offense today. Short pass caught by Scogan. Sidesteps attacker and falls to the 40-yard line. Dane Paul with a stop. And it'll be 3rd and 21.
Jay's been pretty good in the open field today tackling. Anytime you're going against a spread look, you've got to be great in the open field, breaking down, making tackles. So far, so good.
8:10 to play. Elmhurst 24, Wheaton 14.
Well, now, from a Wheaton perspective, I don't know if you just don't go one-on-one against Jamal Lane here. Jamal's won a couple battles and he's lost a couple battles. We'll see what's in the cards.
Charlie Antel lines up one-on-one against Lane. Roberts from the gun, fakes the handoff. Flushed from the pocket, dropped from behind. It's tipped and falls incomplete. Brandon Jones came in with the initial pressure. Roberts just tried to get rid of the football and almost ended up throwing an interception, which would have been even more costly than an incompletion. Probably should have just taken the sack.
Tim, they are clearly rattled by this Elmhurst pressure. Very uncharacteristic of a Mike Swider team here. Having to punt it away back to the Jays. Not able to get anything going offensively.
Tony Vargas had a pretty good first half punting. 41.3 yards per kick on his 3 tries with a long of 50. He has pinned the Blue Jays inside the 20 once today. He will try to do so again here. Bobby Vavlis signals for the fair catch. At the 20-yard line, he steps forward to the 23 to reel it in. And Elmhurst takes over, continuing to lead by 10 with 7:37 remaining.
Well, you have a young man in Scotty Williams at your disposal here as an offensive coach. Team has already amassed about 150 yards on the ground with a lead in the 3rd quarter. Great luxury to be able to turn the ball right over to Scotty Williams and let him grind out some yards.
First and 10 for Elmhurst. Ryan Bach in motion. Scotty Williams stutter steps right. Gains 6 yards towards the 30. One thing that I like a lot about Scotty Williams, Tony, is his ability to change direction. He has really good vision to recognize if a play is called and there's not an opening, he can cut back and find a place where there is a hole.
Which fits, in this offensive scheme, fits Scotty's style perfectly. When you're running the zone read, there's 3 different points. You can cut it back, you can run it straight ahead, or you can bounce it outside. He's got great vision, and he's really strong below the waist as well.
Second and 4, play action. Furco aims deep for Peyton, out of his reach. We've gone deep towards Peyton a couple of times today. It seems like it comes at good opportunities.
Sure.
You're not going to lose a whole lot in a 2nd and 4 situation in opting to go deep. And they haven't been able to hook up today.
Yeah, and they're not doing it. They're not painting themselves into a particular position where you know when it's coming. We've seen it on 1st down. We've seen it now on 2nd down. Furco slung it up there on 3rd. So always keeping the corners aware.
Big 3rd down for the Wheaton defense. 6:51 left in this 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 4. The receivers line up with 3 for Elmhurst. Slot right. Furco throws. It is caught by Vavlis right at the sticks. Does he have enough? He is dropped by Jordan Chapman, the junior linebacker, and it is a 1st down.
And that time Vavlis in the slot. Not seeing much of Corey Tunn here in the 2nd half. He was pretty effective in the slot. Not sure if he's a little bit banged up, but Vavlis able to fill in nicely there.
Yeah, and Tunn wasn't on the punt return either, remember, moments ago. It is a 1st and 10 with Bach in motion to the right side. Scotty Williams moves right, and he is tripped up once again by Jordan Chapman.
Well, the clock is your friend in this position. You certainly want to keep the pedal down, but I'm sure Tim Lester's happy with giving it to Williams, and Williams has been effective today, so not a bad bet.
Quick moving third quarter to this point. Coming up on 6 minutes left in the third. Elmhurst continues to lead by the same score they held at the break, 24-14. Vavlis in motion. He heads to the slot with Furco rolling left, pumps once, steps up, throws, finds Vavlis over the middle, through the seam, into Wheaton territory, down to the 27-yard line, and Vavlis is shaken up after the grab.
Great look by Joe Furco, able to pump away, come back to Vavlis.
Officials, timeout.
Big gainer for the Blue Jays, but another slot receiver shaken up. Vavlis is down at the 27-yard line.
We touched on it a little bit earlier in the game, Tim, but the maturation of Joe Furco has just been something that this team really needed. They needed someone in the post-Chris Kudaba, Dom Dema era to step up, and you mentioned that Joe Furco kind of took the reins right before the CCIW action happened last year. Coming into today, he was over 800 yards. He was very efficient, 8 touchdowns. Today, able to move the ball consistently. He's put the ball on a couple of receivers, too, that maybe should have had some plays, but Joe's been pretty steady so far this year.
Gain of 39 yards to Vavlis, his 4th catch of the day. 4 catches, 67 yards, leading the Blue Jays. Furco is 8 of 18. Elmhurst very balanced right now, Tony. 157 yards rushing, 173 yards passing.
It's like Ann Hutchins and the Dr. Khanna and the training staff has Vavlis up on his feet. Vavlis, a young man from Florida, Tarpon Springs, Florida, sophomore.
All of the Elmhurst players on their knees on the sideline as Vavlis is walking off under his own power.
Bobby's been a big-time player so far this year, and they needed it at the wide receiver position, graduating some real big-time players in Blake Veldheis and Mitch Holmer. Of course, Matt D'Angelo a season ago. So Coach Lester and his offensive staff have been looking for playmakers at the wideout position. Vavlis and Tunn will be missed.
It is a first down for Elmhurst with 5:43 remaining. The Blue Jays set up at the Wheaton 27. Play action, Furco stepping right, throwing at the feet of his intended target. Incomplete and a great idea, throwing low towards Sean Soraka.
That was Brian McMullen, the big safety at 6'3", 211, coming down and taking Soroka.
2nd and 10. We've not seen a lot of Scotty Williams in the second half. He had 101 yards in the first half of play on 15 carries. He's carried 4 times for just 9 yards here in the second. So Wheaton's done a good job of focusing on the young running back and making sure that they can try to adjust to the run. And as soon as I say it, it's Williams again to the outside, gaining about 3 yards. There has not been a lot of open field for Scotty Williams here in the third quarter.
Hey, what I like about what they're doing scheme-wise is they're running into the boundary, and the receiver is cracking back on those 2 big safeties, Langs and McMullen. They're leaving the corner out there. Tyler Langs, one-on-one against Williams. That time Langs makes the play, but I'll take that matchup any time. Big play for the Jays here, Tim.
5 minutes to play in the quarter. Elmhurst leading 24-14. Furco stepping up, forced left. He throws. It is caught by Scotty Williams out of the backfield. His first catch today. Going to be very close. It looks like he might be short.
Jordan Chapman there for the Thunder.
And it is 4th down.
Blue Jays are about 1 yard short.
Fourth and 1.
Bringing in the big uglies. Brandon Dykstra. How about a nose tackle for Wheaton? 6'3", 308. A big old freshman body in the middle of that defensive line. I'm not so sure you don't just roll up the sleeves and get after him here.
Power I. It is Williams. Very close. Very, very close. He was hit right away.
Well, if the home side line judge has the spot, it's a first down.
But the visitor's side, I don't know if he did based off of the spot on the visitor's side, but the head linesman, they will call for a measurement.
How about these officials working hard in this heat out there? It's a tough job. As spectators, we get on them sometimes, but doing a nice job.
Well, I'm sweating, so I can't imagine what they're like out in the sun.
Got those black hats working, soaking up all that sun.
.412 left in the third quarter and a huge, huge spot. Do they have it? It is very close. And Wheaton says no, short. The Blue Jays fail to convert on fourth and short. And Wheaton will take over on offense.
Well, coming into today, Elmhurst was 3 of 3, 100% on fourth downs. Not able to convert that time, but I still like the message that Tim Lester sent his offense. We believe in you, offensive line and Scotty Williams. Go try to get that first down.
Quarter scores, Carthage 31, Milliken 24, North Central 27.
So it remains a 10-point advantage for Elmhurst at 24-14 in a very even third quarter.
And you just have to stay the course defensively, not let any big plays loose.
Joey Scogan's first big gain of the day, picks up 11 and a first down.
Running right at Randy Wright that time, the All-America linebacker. Wright funneling it inside, but not seeing some of the explosive plays we're accustomed to seeing.
Thunder trying to get something going on the ground. Peter Jarrett just 34 yards. Joey Scogan now with 20 on the ground. Wheaton as a team just 61 yards rushing with less than 4 minutes to play in the third. A running back on either side, both Jarrett and Scogan. It is a keeper option for Roberts. He keeps it for himself in a huge hole. Roberts is down the far sideline. He has one man to beat. Janis will shove him out of bounds inside the 10, but a huge gain for the Wheaton quarterback as Jordan Roberts on an option keeper takes it all the way inside the 10-yard line.
What a tide turner that fourth down play was here. On defense now, you got to buckle down and turn them away.
First and goal.
44 yards. 64 yards make it. Boy, I can't add. Again, the two-back look for the Thunder. Roberts will option right, and he pitches left to Jarrett. Dangerous pitch into the teeth of the Blue Jay defense, but Jarrett is inside the 5. Second and goal.
They found a package they like here in this two-back shotgun set. They've been alternating personnel all day today. Offensive coordinators for Wheaton have found something that they think they can work with.
Tell you what, I like this look right now as well. It's really working for the Thunder. The option look we haven't seen from Wheaton yet today. Can the Blue Jays adjust? Off to the left side, and nothing there for Scogan. John Janis up for the stop. Loss of a yard with 2:40 to play in the third. A third and goal for Wheaton. Is 3 enough here, Tony?
I think you're okay down 10 to take the 3 points here. This is why this is a huge play for both sides, Wheaton and Elmhurst. If you turn them away, you take 3. That's a big bonus for the defense, having give up that big run. But Wheaton's going to try to go for the jugular here. How about a fade on the left-hand side? We'll see if the corners are up to it.
Colby Kemp is lined up on the left side. One-on-one against Lane. It is Paul on the right. The throw is over the middle on a slant route. It is caught for the touchdown. The second of the day for Charlie Antel. His 4th catch and his 2nd score. Wheaton with an opportunity to pull within a field goal.
That was a Nice play, 83-yard scoring drive.
You said they lined up one-on-one coverage, but they beat it on a slant route, resulting in the touchdown. Jordan Roberts will hold for the Scott Roche extra point. Pressure comes, kick is up, and it's through. 24-21, 5 plays, 83 yards, 2 minutes and 4 seconds, ignited by a 64-yard option keep from Jordan Roberts, who on one play put together more yards rushing than Wheaton had in the entire 2 3/4.
Great call by the Wheaton offensive staff. They had it stashed in their back pocket and came out with it. Defense did not look prepared to deal with it. Well, it's on Furco and Williams now. Cruising with a 10-point lead earlier in this quarter. We'll see if they can get the ship righted here. A lot of pressure on them now.
2:08 to play in this third quarter.
And don't think for a second that Wheaton would ever lay down, regardless of the score. They've been pushed around a little bit today here at Langhorst, but the Jays have to fight back.
Scott Roche will line it up with John Janis and Rodney Payton deep. The Thunder, for the second time today, have been able to pull within a field goal. Here's the kick from Roche, high and deep, backing up Payton 2 yards deep into the end zone, and he will not take it out. A touchback.
Takes the knee, and the Blue Jays will start first and 10 at their 20-yard line.
Let's take a look at the other scores around the CCIW currently. North Central leading Augustana 20-7 in the third quarter. Carthage has taken control over Milliken, scoring 21 points in the third quarter. They lead 38-24. Evan Jones with a pair of interceptions in the ball game for the Redmen. And it is Illinois Wesleyan just before the half, leading North Park 28-0.
Mike Reynos being helped off the field there, it looks like.
There's a flag on the play.
Penalty against Wheaton.
It's against Wheaton, 15 yards. Spotted to the 35-yard line. Sideline interference is the call. Totally missed that. But it is another penalty for the Thunder. Their 10th penalty today, now for 110 yards. Wow.
That is a penalty, Tim, that is not without warning. You'll get a couple of warnings typically from the referees on your sideline. And not sure if it was the coaching staff or it was the players sneaking on past that restricted area.
Scotty Williams straight ahead, moves left. He's got a hole to midfield. Into Wheaton territory to the 43. Brian McBroom on the stop for the Thunder.
McBroom's a name we have not called much today. Looks like Wheaton has gone to more of a lighter package. They've moved some of their linebackers out. McBroom is listed as a corner. But playing out there, maybe trying to combat some of the speed and some of the cutback ability of the running game here. But that time, Williams able to find the seam.
21 yards on the play. And an Elmhurst first down with 1:43 to play in the quarter. Blue Jays leading 24-21. It's Bach in motion to the right side. He will serve as the lead blocker for Scotty Williams. Locates the hole, but is gobbled up right away by David Seaman on the Wheaton defensive line. Thunder are doing a lot of things defensively, trying to rotate in bodies to try to gobble up holes quickly, denying Scotty Williams opportunities. Williams with 138 yards today and a touchdown. It is below his average of 159 yards per ball game, but you know that the ball is going to continue to end up in his hands. His 23rd carry of the day, good for a yard.
And Wheaton's got 8 guys in the box as they walk down Jordan Langs.
Under a minute to go in the quarter. Furco will throw on 2nd and 9. It is caught by Payton. He'll fake left, come back right, pick up the first down.
Great recognition by the young Joe Furco there. Seeing that Langs comes down to the box, you get one-on-one coverage or cover 3 in the secondary. Able to work with Payton there. Great look by Furco.
Spotted at the Wheaton 32. 1st and 10 for Elmhurst with 40 seconds to play in the quarter.
Anytime you get single high safety, you go ahead and check it to the pass. And anytime you have Rodney Payton over on your right-hand side, I feel comfortable Joe Furco slinging it over there.
Scotty Williams off the right side inside the 30. Picking up 3 yards to the 29.
Pretty good looking answer to the last Wheaton drive, Tim?
3-yard gain on the play.
And that is the way the third quarter will come to a close. Heading to the fourth quarter, the Blue Jay players hold up 4 fingers on the sidelines. They look to keep alive their unbeaten start to the season. They are 4-0. Wheaton is 4-0. The winner of this ball game will be tied for the CCIW lead with either North Central or Augustana at the conclusion of play today. And it is down to the final 15 minutes.
Well, Tim, it's the games like this that if you want to raise your program to the next level, you need to win games like this. They did it 2 years ago at Langhorse. Some would call it a fluke of a season, but Wheaton is a nationally ranked darling year in and year out. To come in today and beat them, nationally ranked at 4-0, would be a huge statement for this program. Now, with a young team like the Jays, we'll see how they handle the pressure here in the fourth quarter. So far, so good, but the final 15 minutes will tell the story.
Elmhurst with 375 yards of offense so far today. Wheaton with 298. Each team has run 52 plays. Time of possession nearly even. Elmhurst 22-37, Wheaton 22-23. 133 on the ground for Wheaton, 165 through the air. 184 on the ground for Elmhurst, 191 through the air. 2nd and 7 for the Blue Jays as we open the fourth quarter with Elmhurst on top, 24-21. Along with Tony Minestra, I'm Tim Calderwood from Elmhurst College and Langhorse Field on homecoming day. Scotty Williams moves left, cuts back to the right, and he's gobbled up right away. Among those in on the stop, Corey Hart.
Williams was the ball carrier. Dugan with the tackle.
Also Ryan Dugan. Gain of a yard on the play.
Gain on the play.
And the Blue Jays are faced with a big third down. Just 3 of 8 on third downs today. That's probably one of the only areas right now you can point at that Elmhurst has struggled today. They line up with Vavlis in the slot left. Payton standing next to him. And along the near side it is St. Peter. Furco runs right, throws, caught by St. Peter.
How about that?
Does he have the first down? He's going to be close. Well, spotted at the 23-yard line, I believe, just short of the first down marker. No, now they'll signal first down. I was going to say they may have set up another opportunity for a huge fourth down play
another
for
decision
Wheaton.
to make there, and I'll tell you what, I'm not sure that they wouldn't have taken the 3 points there, but great job by St. Peter, who's been a little bit quiet today. He was big in the early going in the season, but Furco has enough confidence in him to find him on third down.
Elmhurst marching down the field.
Going with a 2 tight end set look here and see if Williams can cut one loose.
Play action for Williams. Furco steps right, throws, it's caught by Payton. At the 5-yard line, out of bounds for a Blue Jay first down, but there is a flag back at the offensive line. Ineligible receiver downfield.
Oh, boy.
Ineligible receiver downfield against Elmhurst.
Huge
Elmhurst
mental error there.
Has not committed very many penalties today, just 5 for a total of 39 yards. But the penalties they have committed, Tony, have come at the worst possible time.
Yeah, a couple of third down pass interferences. This time putting the Jays in a little bit of a hole here. And they've been really going after Tyler Langs, the brother of Jordan Langs, the big safety we've been talking about today. But Langs has been going up against Rodney Payton. It's been a pretty good battle.
We're in the fourth quarter. 13-15 left in the game. Elmhurst by a field goal, 24-21. Here is Scotty Williams inside the 20.
Williams, the ball carrier.
getting back the penalty yardage and then some, picking up 8 on the play. Williams with 150 yards on the ground.
Can't say enough about this Blue Jay offensive line, able to deal with the complex 3-4 scheme that the Wheaton's bringing at you. They'll bring stunts, they'll bring pressure. So far, so good for the offensive line. They've been pretty steady.
2nd and 8. Again, a double tight set. Bach in motion to the far side, setting up the strong side of the field. Williams will follow his blockers to the outside, and he's tripped up after a gain of 6. Stop is made by Pat Danstill.
Danstill with the tackle.
Boy, the ability for Furco and the offense to kind of grind it at Wheaton is something we have not seen in recent years.
4-yard gain on the play.
Another big 3rd down upcoming. Elmhurst leading 24-21 with under 12 minutes to play in the ball game. We're glad you're with us on Blue Jay TV on this homecoming Saturday. Handoff to Williams, 4 yards to gain. Up the middle, he has the first down, close to the 10-yard line.
And grind it they do. 3rd down, what respect they have for this offensive line and Scotty Williams.
Listen to the capacity crowd at Langhorst Field today.
Williams gets a little bit of a hand as he comes off, and in comes Gibson, but confidence that Tim Lester and this offensive line. Doing it to a defense, Tim, that I mentioned it many times, 2nd in the CCIW in yards allowed rushing.
They can pick up a first down. Furco fakes the handoff, rolls right, throws out of the reach of Bach. He was flanked by Jordan Langs defensively. Griffin Gibson is in the backfield, and we have an injured Wheaton player. And it is Tyler Langs, someone that the Thunder do not want to see down on a knee at the goal line.
Yeah. Gibson's a guy who kind of worked his way up the depth chart last year. A Jimmy Jenkins and a Nick Herrera, no longer with the roster this year. Now the number 2 guy behind Williams. Doesn't see a ton of touches, but trying to be effective when he's in there.
So we have an injury timeout with 11:16 to play.
Tremendous answer by this offense after Wheaton had came down the field and closed the gap to 3 points. The offense now has responded. Terrific job by the offensive line.
Carthage 41, Milliken 24. Halftime score, Illinois Wesleyan 28, North Park 0.
Boy, North Park's just struggling a little bit.
Second and 10.
As you hear some other CCIW scores over the PA, this game, like you mentioned, Tim, is going to separate 2 of the undefeateds. 2 teams will remain undefeated in the CCIW here after today.
And we have a timeout on the field. It is a timeout for Wheaton with 11:16 to play. 4th quarter of action. Elmhurst leading as they have throughout. The Blue Jays took advantage of an interception in the first quarter. Wheaton starting quarterback Jordan Roberts throwing a pick in the end zone, intercepted by Jamal Lane. Ended up resulting in an Elmhurst touchdown. Wheaton managed to tie the game. But then 10 unanswered from the Blue Jays to go up 17-7. Wheaton with a 52-yard strike pulled to within 17-14 before Kyle Demas, with 1 minute to play in the first half, returned an interception 37 yards for a score to put the Blue Jays up 24-14. And in the third quarter, just 1 touchdown. Bobby Antel's second touchdown reception of the ball game, 6 yards from Jordan Roberts to bring Wheaton within 24-21, which is where we stand with 11:16 remaining in the fourth. The Blue Jays have the ball in the red zone. 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line.
$210 to the winner this afternoon.
Griffin Gibson is the running back. Fade route for Payton, right corner of the end zone, out of bounds. He made the catch, but he could not stay in.
Well, they went back shoulder again. They came back to the play. This time, much better timing between Furco and Payton. Payton just ran out of room.
It is a 3rd down for the Blue Jays with 11:10 to play. Is 3 points enough here, Tony?
You have to come away with points. There's no doubt about it. It changes what you're doing defensively when you're up 6 rather than 3. So you hope for the 1st down, but I think 3 points is going to be okay here as well. And again, Wheaton does not change defensively. They leave their regular package out there. Bablis one-on-one with Langs.
3rd and 10. The pass is tipped. Incomplete. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Here comes the special teams unit. And J.R. Delacondro will attempt to make it a 6-point lead. He has been successful once today, good on a 20-yard attempt early in the 2nd quarter. This will officially be a 27-yard try for Delacondro.
27-yard attempt.
You say JR?
The 27-yard try is up, and it is angling right and no good. He pushed it right from 27 yards away and down by a field goal. The Wheaton fans rise to their feet on the far side as the offense takes to the field with a whole lot of time.
Well, it's a defense, an Elmhurst defense, that was supposed to be the strength of your team. You're talking about an All-American type player in Randy Wright, Brandon Jones, an all-conference type of guy, John Janis, an all-conference type of guy. So this is where you lean on the strength of your team. The defense has got to make a play here and turn away the Thunder.
418, please report to the press box.
Roberts still in at quarterback. He dumps it off for Jarrett, who's tripped up by Randy Wright after a gain of 3.
Right with the tackle.
Very instinctive player, Randy Wright, able to make a play there. And Randy's always one play away from making that huge play to shift the tide. Last week against North Park, forced the fumble that Dane Paul returned 99 yards for a touchdown. So look for Randy to make a big play here for the defense.
Roberts looks left, throws. It is caught by Antel. He has a 1st down to the 35-yard line.
Roberts pass complete near side.
Shoved out by Street and Jones.
Lane there for the Blue Jays. 1st down for Wheaton.
Antel's a little shaken up here. Kind of coming away with a little bit of a limp to him.
And it's back to the 2-back look, with both Scogan and Jarrett on either side of Roberts. Jarrett receives the call, and he'll gain 4 yards out to the 40. Randy Wright in on the stop again, along with Alfano, who is a little shaken up defensively for the Blue Jays. Randy Wright a little slow up as well.
Well, option football always tests the discipline of a defense. Dive, quarterback, pitch. You have to have a man assigned to each one. That time the Jays are up to the task.
Under 10 minutes to play. Elmhurst 24, Wheaton 21. Antel, the target, too high. Well, Wheaton had been rotating quarterbacks. Garrett Metter played the 2nd quarter, Jordan Roberts the 1st and the 3rd, but it is Roberts who remains in the game. He himself has accounted for all 3 touchdowns today. 2 touchdowns through the air.
The defense has got to get some legs here.
3rd and 6. Antel with the grab at the 1st down marker. It looks like he will have enough.
Pass was complete near side.
Just too much cushion that time by Jamal.
Janis and Randy Wright on the stop. And they're going to, wow, that is a very favorable spot for Elmhurst.
There is no question in my mind that Mike Swider goes for it right here.
It is 4th and inches. The Thunder line up with the I formation. Listen to the crowd. Jarrett tries the outside. He is hit by Demas. Forward progress is going to be close. Forward progress is going to be very close. Kyle Demas with the initial hit. Did he fall forward with enough? No. First down, Elmhurst.
We said it at the beginning of this drive. The defense has got to make the play. It's the strength of your team. It's the heart and soul of this program. And right there you see it. The defense steps up and makes a play.
And with 9:29 remaining, the Blue Jays take over at the Wheaton 45. Expect to see a whole lot of Scotty Williams with Elmhurst leading 24-21.
Heavy dose of number 20.
Bach is in motion. Williams with the handoff. Straight ahead, gains 3 yards.
Hey, credit this Wheaton defense, too. They've gotten it right here in the second half. Elmhurst able to move the ball at will, seemingly, in the first half. Much stiffer front for Wheaton here in the second half.
3-yard gain on the play.
Blue Jays will take their time with 9 minutes remaining, leading 24-21. Moments ago, J.R. Delacondro missed a 27-yard field goal. It is Bach in motion to the near side. Scotty Williams off tackle is gobbled up by an unblocked linebacker. Jordan Chapman came in uncontested, and he hit Williams behind the line.
And East with the tackle.
Loss of 1 on the play, and now a big third down for Elmhurst.
This is where the loss of ton in the slot really hurts you offensively. He's been able to work against the linebackers and safeties. We'll see if they go one-on-one on the edge. Pick one of the corners, and it's been Tyler Langs against Rodney Payton pretty exclusively here in the second half. We'll see if they take a one-on-one matchup. Looks like man-to-man coverage across the board.
Vavlis in motion to the slot. Furco rolls left, throws left, incomplete. He was looking for Joe St. Peter. Tim Shaw in coverage for Wheaton, 4th down, and on comes the punting unit.
This is where all that conditioning comes into play with that heat still beaten down in the midday. Defense has been on the field quite a bit this second half. They're going to be tested again.
Brian Lesueur will punt. He stands back at his own 41. Setting up for the Thunder is Tyler Langs. He is 6th in the nation in punt return yardage, and he has a huge hole, but a flag flies in. Langs stumbles at the 45-yard line, but a flag at the point of attack where Langs sprung for a big return.
And the name of the day has been Kyle Demas, and none other than number 17 was in position to make the play. Got 2 hands in the back.
Penalties, 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 Tony. This will be the 11th penalty of the game for Wheaton. They have 110 yards in penalties, and they'll pick up the flag. All right. And so it will end up being a huge gain for Langs on the return out to the 46. Wheaton with solid field position, down 24-21 with 7:49 to play.
You can't allow the Yellow Hankies to dictate the game here as a defense. Can't hang your head. Wheaton gets a return. You got to step up defensively.
The I formation behind Roberts. The fullback is Clark. Play action. Roberts throws right. It is caught by the tight end, Zurhoff, who has a 52-yard touchdown today. He'll pick up 16 and a first down to the Elmhurst 40.
I'm not sure if Randy's gassed over there, but old number 6, Randy Wright, had a play in the open field, and he just got beat to the inside by the big tight end.
Got some poll questions popping up on Blue Jay TV today as well. Our producer Glenn busy at work. Roberts Flush from the pocket, hit as he throws. It's behind Antell, and it falls incomplete. Roberts to the turf. Antell slow as well. 2nd and 10.
Jerry Beach that time right in the grill of the QB. Out to his natural position to D-end where he played quite a bit last year. Getting some pressure off the edge.
Don't forget on BlueJayTV.com, a busy week. Volleyball Tuesday, soccer doubleheader Wednesday. Soccer on Saturday next weekend as well, and audio of football from Illinois Wesleyan. Jarrett still on his feet, spinning to the 35-yard line. He'll pick up 6, 3rd and short for Wheaton. And a big 3rd down for the Thunder with 7:15 left in the ball game, trailing 24-21.
They've shown 3-step drop on a few consecutive 3rd downs now. You got to tighten up the coverage. Dane Paul, Jamal Lane.
The I formation. It is Clark in motion to the right. They'll run a fake. Roberts, pocket collapse. He throws to a wide open Zurhoff on the near side. Stays on his feet as Demas misses the tackle towards the pylon. Dives just short to the 1-yard line. A gain of 34 on 3rd and 4. And Zurhoff has been huge for the Thunder today.
This is a route progression that's been a staple of the Wheaton offense for as long as I can remember. It's called the NCAA. They run the backside post, tight end underneath, dig behind it with the receiver. That time the tight end comes free.
Glad you're with us on Blue Jay TV. Wheaton looking to take the lead for the first time today. They roll left. It is caught. And a touchdown. Davis Skinner, the fullback, reels in the 1-yard score from Jordan Roberts, and Wheaton, for the first time today, takes the lead. They have trailed 7-0, 10-7, 17-7, and 24-14, only to come from behind and grab a 27-24 lead with 6:26 to play. The good news, Tony, there's an awful lot of time still on that clock. And this is a big extra point from Roche. Three out of 3 on his point after attempts today. From the hold of Roberts, it is low, it is blocked, and it will not go through. A bad snap led to a rushed kick attempt that was blocked and fell short. 27-24, and how big is the missed field goal right now?
No doubt about it. JR is going to get another shot perhaps at it, but I'll tell you, what's concerning to me is the way the defense was sort of on roller skates that drive, Wheaton able to move the ball down the field seemingly at will. The offense is going to have to string together some plays because I'm not sure the defense is ready to roll out there again in 3 plays.
We're glad you're with us on Blue Jay TV. 6:26 remaining. Wheaton leading for the first time today. Davis Skinner with a 1-yard touchdown reception to put Wheaton ahead after a 34-yard play from Roberts to Zurhoff.
Well, Elmhurst scoreless in the second half. If there's ever a time that they want to put 6 on the board, this would be a good time to do it.
Andrew Tubeck, the freshman running back, deep to receive to the left of Rodney Payton.
And that probably speaks to John Janis being a little bit gassed. We'd seen him in the last few kick returns.
Here is the kickoff from Roche. High and deep. Payton backs up from the 4-yard line. Straight ahead, has a wall, angles left, crossing the 20, tripped up at the 24. And the Blue Jays take over 1st and 10 with 6:20 remaining, down 27-24.
Joe Furco has not really had to take the reins today. It's been a good balance of run and pass, but Furco now is going to really have it on his shoulders.
Well, the Blue Jays have been playing conservatively for the most part here in the second half. Let's see what they will do here, lining up 1st and 10. 3 wide. Bach in motion to the near side. Furco will throw. He looks right, pumps once, throws underneath. It is caught by Vadlis, gain of just 2, and a flag flies in the area of where Furco let the pass go.
And suddenly the penalties are mounting in the other direction now for the Jays.
It was the referee who threw the flag, so he doesn't need to consult with his fellow officials here today, and he will signal a chop block against Elmhurst.
Penalty against Elmhurst.
Well, there's 2 ways a call like that can go. If you come in from outside of the tackle box and come low on a defender who started inside the tackle box, or if a man's engaged with another player and you come in low. So
you can follow Blue Jay TV on Twitter. Also follow Elmhurst College Athletics on Twitter. And get all the schedules of our upcoming broadcasts. Glenn is busy making this an interactive broadcast today with 6 minutes to play. A 15-yard penalty, 1st and 25. Wheaton had a 1st and 30 earlier in the second half. Quick drop for Furco. He is met and dropped at the 5-yard line. First sack today for Wheaton. And it is Brandon Dykstra. Very excited.
Got to be very careful with your backs to the end zone here. There's still time left in this game. You don't have to get it all on this play.
Elmhurst does have 3 timeouts with 5:20 remaining, but it is 2nd and an eternity. 2nd and 30. It is a draw. And a gain of about 4 yards out towards the 10-yard line. Not a whole lot more. The carry was given for the first time today to Andrew Tubeck, his first carry of the ball game. Wheaton has come from behind, down 10 points on 2 separate occasions. They lead 27-24 with less than 5 minutes to play, and it's 3rd and 27 for Elmhurst.
Well, the one thing we mentioned that we didn't want to have happen was to have the defense come out after 3 plays. Looks like unless the Jays can pull one off here, it's going to be that very situation.
Furco will roll right, tries to stiff arm a man, shovels it off for Williams, who cannot hang on. Incomplete. All kinds of pressure coming from Jordan Chapman. And Elmhurst will have to punt from the shadows of their goalposts. With 4:26 to play.
Punting unit on the field.
Again, it'll be on the shoulders of the defense.
LeSueur with a booming kick. Wow, kicking away and out of bounds at the 31-yard line, away from Tyler Langs. A huge punt for LeSueur. 59 yards, his second longest of the year. He had a 70-yard punt against the University of Chicago. And with 4:17 remaining, Wheaton will try to do something they've had a lot of problems with today, Tony. Moving the football on the ground.
Yep, no doubt. And this is a defense that was stressed over and over and over again during fall camp. Create turnovers. We'll see if we can't get a hand on the ball and strip something loose here. Wheaton's going to have to play ball control.
The I formation behind Roberts. It is Jarrett moving left, and at his feet is Janis to wrap him up after a gain of a yard.
You're going to get a ball in the air here, whether it's a 3-step combination or a screen pass. We'll see if the secondary can answer when that play is called. But from a Wheaton perspective, you'd like to just turn the ball over and hand off. But like you mentioned, Tim, inability to do that today has really hurt them.
When do you think about starting to use these 3 timeouts with under 4 minutes to play and 20 seconds on the play clock? Jordan Roberts will use every bit of it before he has to snap the ball on 2nd down. Down to 10 seconds. Roberts takes the snap, hands to Jarrett, straight ahead, gains 4 yards out to the 36-yard line. 3rd and 5 for Wheaton with 3:28 remaining.
And Coach Lester won't use it there. He trusts the defense to get a stop here.
5-yard gain on the play.
Defensive coordinator Joe Adam out on the field, barking the call out. Personnel switch now for Wheaton.
There have been several big moments in the game this afternoon. None bigger than this third down.
Do they come back to option?
Stunting on the defensive line. Davis Skinner, the fullback, in motion. Roberts will keep, and he's met at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Falls forward for 2, short of the first down. The Blue Jays calling for and receiving a timeout with 2:46 to play.
Well, we've talked all day about how good the offensive line has been, moving the football on the ground. They're going to have a test now, having to protect Furco from this Wheaton defensive attack. And if they can protect him and make some plays, Furco can make some one-on-one passes with Rodney Payton on the edge.
All that the Blue Jays need is a field goal to tie. It is 4th and very short for Wheaton with 2:46 to play. Does the thought pop into Mike Swider's head to potentially go for it here?
I think definitely you long count him here in a punt situation. One of the things the special teams coach for Elmhurst is going to have to remind his players is to watch the ball and stay inside. Nothing is gained here by over-aggressiveness. Punt team is on the field for Wheaton.
Tony Vargas has had a very good day with his leg.
You also have to stay away from the punter unless you have a block on. Make sure your hand doesn't cross paths with the punter's foot.
Tony Vargas getting ready to kick it away for Wheaton.
John Janis stands at his own 25-yard line.
A lot of fair catches today. We'll see if Janis, he's a fearless type of guy. We'll see if he takes his chances at returning this deal.
Wheaton with a little bit of motion on the line to try to provide some extra protection for Vargas as the Blue Jays line up to come after the punter. Play clock is down to 8. Wheaton will snap. Here's the kick from Vargas. Janis signals for the fair catch. His momentum carries him up to the 31-yard line. Elmhurst seemingly needs 69 yards to win the ball game and probably in the area of 40 yards to be able to have a crack at tying it. The big missed extra point on the hold and block.
Opens the door for a few different possibilities. You certainly don't want to rely on the field goal, although Delicandro has shown that he can knock few through when necessary. You definitely want to go after the 7 here. The advantage now at this point, Tim, is that it's 4-down territory all the way.
The Blue Jays with 2 timeouts. Likewise for Wheaton with 2:39 remaining. 27-24, Wheaton on top. It is Furco under center with Williams behind him. The Thunder show pressure. Furco throwing long, looking for Payton out of his reach. Step per step, Tyler Langs in coverage.
Terrific coverage by Langs. He's been picked on a little bit today, and Payton and him have been going at it one-on-one. Payton that time taking a shot one-on-one, but Langs is up to the task.
North Central beats Augustana 34-14. They will be 2-0 in the CCIW. The winner of this one will also be 2-0. Carthage, 48-24 winner over Milliken.
Does that put Augie at 0-2 in the conference?
1-1.
1-1.
2nd and 10 with 2:33 remaining. Furco surveys the defense. The Thunder show blitz and back off. Dropping back, throwing, complete to Payton across the 45. He lost the football. The ball came loose, and Wheaton takes it away. Jordan Chapman with a strip and recovery for the Thunder.
Looked like Payton's butt was down on the ground. It kind of popped out as he sat down. Goodness gracious.
Turnovers so big in the game today, Tony. Elmhurst took advantage of 2 Wheaton interceptions and turned them both into touchdowns. The Thunder converted on an Elmhurst muffed punt for a touchdown as well. They stopped Elmhurst on 4th and 1, turned that into a touchdown. And here they are trying to put the game away after the second Elmhurst turnover with 2:24 to play, leading 27-24. Handoff for Jarrett. right side, gains 5. Tripped up to the Elmhurst 42. Timeout Blue Jays with 2:17 to play.
Well, Coach Lester giving the side judge here an earful on the play. Peyton pleading his case with the referee, but the play is gone. You have to move on here. One more timeout left for the Jays here. But the inability of the offense to keep the pedal down here in the second half. Give credit to Wheaton's defense. They have really turned it on here in the second half. Elmhurst able to move the ball down the field, but Wheaton able to shut the door when it was called time to do so.
When the contest reaches its conclusion, we'll have a quick wrap-up for you here on Blue Jay TV. We will set the schedule of broadcasts for the upcoming week. And then we will head on out of here on homecoming. A great crowd on hand to witness what has been an outstanding football game between a pair of unbeaten teams. Elmhurst 4-0, Wheaton 4-0. Both teams victorious last week in their CCIW openers. Elmhurst 45-0 over North Park. Wheaton 29-19 at home over Illinois Wesleyan. 2nd and 5 with 2:17 to play. Only one timeout remaining for Elmhurst. Jarrett with the carry, falling forward. He will have the first down. Picking up yards when they needed it most. That's what Wheaton has been able to do. And seemingly with only one timeout remaining, potentially putting this game away. Elmhurst will keep that timeout. 1st and 10 for the Thunder. The chains have moved to the 36-yard line. Roberts taking every bit of clock. So we are under 2 minutes to play. It is Jarrett again, leaping a couple of tacklers and gaining 3 yards.
Well, the veteran Wheaton Thunder able to sort of flex their muscles here in the second half. Had some troubles early on, but righted the ship here, and Mike Swider's got these guys rolling here in the second half.
Making plays when they had to.
Yep.
That's one of the biggest things you can say for this Wheaton squad, who has outscored Elmhurst 13-0 in the second half. A fumble as Elmhurst was attempting to drive for, at the very least, the tying score. And potentially take the lead here on homecoming. But with 1:43 remaining, Elmhurst is out of timeouts. And it is a 2nd and 6 for the Thunder. You assume victory formation upcoming.
Well, you certainly never want to take moral victories away from a contest, but Elmhurst was up to the task here today. Certainly will not be a cushion for them to lay on that they lost to the nationally ranked Wheaton Thunder by 3 points, but bodes well for them moving forward in the CCIW conference.
For the first time this year, Scotty Williams will be held without 2 touchdowns. The sophomore has run for 159 yards today and a score for the Blue Jays. Jarrett gains 2 yards, and it is 3rd down. So seemingly the Blue Jays could come up with a stop here and may have an opportunity very late. Down to 1:27 to play. It needs to be a stop here. 1st down ends it.
Best case scenario for the Jays here, they get a stop and it trickles all the way down inside 20 seconds following the next play.
The I formation
Still
behind
get a
Roberts.
stop now, though.
The Blue Jay crowd trying to come to life for one final time. Jarrett is tripped up. A diving tackle made by Pete Alfano behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard. It is 4th down and a 19-second difference between the game clock and the play clock. Wheaton with a couple of timeouts will likely take one here as the play clock winds down. It's going to be interesting to see what the Thunder try to do here. They're probably going to have to punt, I would imagine. I don't think you can go for it here and risk giving Elmhurst good field position.
No, they'll run the football and make them go 70 yards.
clock is stopped at 18.3 on a delay of game by the Thunder, backing up Wheaton 5 yards and attempting to give their punter a little more room.
Interesting choice to go delay a game and not call the timeout. Not sure if they had one left.
They have 2 timeouts remaining.
Okay.
Attendance today over 2,600 at Elmhurst Field for homecoming.
Now you open up the possibility of a block punt situation.
That's why I was saying it was going to be an interesting situation there. Vargas.
With nothing to lose here as a punt block team, you got to come after it full bore. Regardless if you knock down the punter or not, you have no position here to worry about that. You got to come after it.
Janis stands at his 5. High snap for Vargas, who gets it off a short kick. He will kick it away from Janis, bouncing at the 15, rolling out on the far sideline at the 16. And with 11 seconds remaining, you have maybe 2 plays offensively for Elmhurst.
That's just what they wanted. Protect the punter, not let Janis have an opportunity at it. You have maybe 1-2 plays here. And with the defense understanding that Furco has to sling it here, they're going to pin their ears back and come after him.
27-24, Wheaton with the lead. They have outscored Elmhurst 13-0 in the second half after trailing 24-14 at the half.
The old Big Ben play as Joe Furco loosens up his arm. You've got to protect first. They've got 3 safeties back at the 45-yard line.
Trips to the near side for Furco. Out of the shotgun. He will roll right, step up, throw deep down the middle, and it is intercepted at the 38-yard line, and that will do it. Brian McMullen, the safety, with the interception for Wheaton. With 2.5 remaining, the Thunder will sit on it and win the ball game. Well, you said it, Tony. Can't really say a lot for moral victories, but boy, Elmhurst certainly put forth their best effort here today on homecoming.
Well, the program is here to stay. They showed it here at Elmhurst Field, competing with a nationally ranked Wheaton team, but that is not in the minds of any of these players right now. This game was lost on the field. Wheaton just took it away from them.
Victory formation as Roberts takes a knee, and that's it. Wheaton wins 27-24. The Thunder are 5-0 and 2-0 in the CCIW as the Blue Jays suffer their first defeat of 2010, falling to 4-1 and 1-1 in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. Tony, last season this Elmhurst team seemed to take some huge strides, but again falling in a lot of close contests. Similar again here today at home, falling to the nationally ranked Wheaton College Thunder 27-24.
Certainly moving forward, Tim, this gives you a vote of confidence. You wonder how a young team's going to respond. Now, there is some senior leadership on the defensive side of the ball, but a young offensive unit, how are they going to respond next week, moving forward in CCIW? Do you hang your heads, or do you get after that next guy on the schedule?
Let's take a look at the final numbers before we say fare thee well on homecoming. Elmhurst outgains Wheaton 411 to 395. 213 through the air, 198 on the ground for the Blue Jays. Wheaton with 159 on the ground and 236 through the air. Elmhurst converts on 21 first downs, Wheaton 19. The Blue Jays a slim edge in time of possession, 30-45 to 29-15. Penalties a big one, 11 for 115 on Wheaton, 7 for 55 against Elmhurst. Wheaton was 6 of 15 on third down, Elmhurst 5 of 13. Individually, Scotty Williams, 159 yards and a touchdown for the Blue Jays, right at his season average. Jordan Roberts, perhaps with the biggest play of the game. Runs for 82 yards. The Thunder playing without Rocky Ging today. Jordan Roberts, 15 of 22, 3 touchdowns, 160 yards, and an interception. Charlie Antel, 6 catches, 75 yards, 2 scores. Austin Zerhoff, 3 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown as well, leading the way for Wheaton. Tyler Langs with 8 tackles on defense. Joe Furco was 12 of 30, 173 yards, a touchdown, and a late interception. Wheaton does hold a 3-2 advantage in turnovers today as the Blue Jays turning it over for the third time on the interception. Bobby Vavlis, 67 yards on 4 catches. Rodney Payton 57 yards on 3 grabs. Elmhurst led by Randy Wrights, 15 tackles. John Janis added 9. As we mentioned, Tony, when it came down to it, Wheaton had struggled on the ground today against Elmhurst, and they were able to pick up the yards on the ground when they needed them most, down in crunch time.
Veteran ball club. They've been here before. Seemingly, Wheaton's ranked in the national top 25 every single season, and that showed here in the second half today. How about Elmhurst? 3 for 3, a picture of efficiency in the first half in the red zone, 0 for 2 in the second half. We had the 4th down to Williams, the missed field goal by Delacandro, and just an inability to move the football in the second half really cost him down the stretch.
The upcoming schedule on Blue Jay TV will look like this. On Tuesday, we've got volleyball for you. Wednesday, a doubleheader of soccer. Saturday, a doubleheader of soccer as well. And on Saturday nights, audio. Tony will be headed along with Mark Kruger down to Illinois Wesleyan University as the Blue Jays will look to respond from their first loss of the season against the Titans next weekend. Elmhurst is 4-1 following the defeat today. A very solid performance by the Blue Jays, but not enough as they fall short, failing to score in the second half as Wheaton wins 27-24. That will wrap up our coverage on homecoming from Langhorst Field on this Saturday. Thrilled to have you with us for our entire Blue Jay TV crew. My name is Tim Calderwood, and for my partner, Tony Menestra, thank you so much for tuning in today. Enjoy the remainder of your homecoming festivities.